All right, welcome in, everybody. We are about to get started with TECWC Zone Battle 2024. Tonight is absolutely stacked with some amazing players, so cannot wait to get started here. Welcome in any early birds into the chat. Yes, I am Austin from the Enhanced team, a community developer put on TECWC for anyone that is not familiar. Most of the early birds here mostly are familiar with me, but yes, we have an absolutely stacked bracket. We are going to get started in just a moment here. I do want to introduce our sponsors before our first match begins. Big thanks to the Tetris Company for putting on the prize pools and making this happen. Be sure to follow Tetris Official, whether it's on X/Twitter or Instagram, whatever socials are out there, Tetris_official. And yes, big thank you to the Tetris Company for making Tetris what it is today. Also, a shout out to AppMex, the provider of Tetris collectible coins, whether it is silver, gold. I think there's some crazy Moonrock materials. I can't remember them all. But yes, AppMex investments you hold. And we will have some features of the Tetris coin later today, as it is either blessed or cursed. So far this year, it is a perfect record of predicting the winner. Last year, it was absolutely perfect in predicting or the contrary, where it was it never predicted correctly. So it is absolutely cursed. And yeah, a main sponsor for us this year is the Tetris Forever game, which just released on November 12th from Digital Eclipse. We will be featuring some gameplay. I believe we're playing Super Tetris plus Bombless 2 later, just after our intermission during the giveaway. And by the way, if you'd like to enter the giveaway, type Forever in the chat for your chance to win a Steam copy of the game if you're looking to check it out. And I know a lot of our Tetris viewers have yet to haven't come around to making the purchase quite yet, so be sure to enter that giveaway. Type Forever in the chat for your chance to win. Yes, our TECWC merch store went live today. I'm actually about to post this in our community Discord. So yeah, if you are looking to get some updated merch, we have a higher quality product and printing method this year for our t-shirts and hoodies. We have tote bags, new stickers, and mouse pads. So if that is something you are interested in, actually I'll drop in TECWC in the chat here. If you head to tetrisfect.game/tournaments, you can pick up some merch. And shout out to Hyperkin. I'm going to be quick here on these last two and introduce our commentators here so we can get our matches started. But yes, Hyperkin, the pixel art controllers comes in 3 Tetris varieties, and they also have these watch bands and the awesome Tetris Effect connected carrying case. Shout out to Hyperkin for sponsoring us once again this year. And last but not least, here I am. I got Power Bears plus Red Bull here on the left. Thank you. Power Bears Tetris Gummies, Gamer Power Up, and Red Bull Energy drink. If you are looking to up your game, and I am curious if any of our top players drink Red Bull. They all drink Red Bull because they're absolutely cracked and it makes you better. But yes, so I will introduce our commentators, Davo and Commando. Davo Tigger and Commando, excuse me. How are you two doing tonight?
I'm doing great. It's good to be back here. It's good to be commentating some zone battle once again. Feels like it's been a while, but here we are back in the booth, or metaphorical booth.
Yeah. I think our last metaphorical booth was probably Block Party, I think, and we had a couple of familiar faces in our bracket, but I am always one, whenever I get the chance to cast for some TEC zone battle, especially when we have talent like this that we're going to be seeing tonight. Absolutely a blast to be a part of, and always happy to be here on stream for that. And yeah, I think on cue we're gonna get a little bit of an intro into some of these matchups. So, Commander, I'll let you give a little bit of a summary thing, but just for stream as well, top 4, since this is single elim, top 4 makes it into the trifecta bracket. Yes. You have to win your first match in order to qualify. So these are very important round 1 matches.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be a tall order given the bracket that we have here. I mean, we've got several familiar names. We've got SakeGohan, Akashi Robo. One of those two names you're familiar with, but you know, widely considered to be probably the best Tetris player in the world right now. We also got Uyeshota, a strong contender who's been going for several years. We have OSW and Jaden, two our two U.S. representatives in the zone battle bracket, both of which have been very consistent, very strong, and been able to consistently show that they have been improving every single year that they're in the competitive scene. We also have Doremy, another familiar face from France. We have, and our first somewhat new face, Emiri, who I believe has been going around playing a lot of ranked zone battle, but hasn't really made much of a tournament appearance. We also have Zin, who we saw in Score Attack and Classic, I believe. And another face, wrapping up the top 8 here, Nakagiiroha, who I don't think I've seen at all.
Yeah, so as far as I'm aware, at least for the general breakdown, I believe 4 of these 8 players, being Uyeshota, I think Doremy, OSW, and Zin, all have qualified for Trifecta in the past. I think our 2 new faces, at least within TECWC, are Nakagiiroha and Emiri. Both, I think, are Japanese players. Emiri, I know for a fact, has had extremely close sets with both OSW and Jaden in the past, although this may be their first tournament experience. Though I have not seen Nakagiiroha play, so I am very excited to see how that matchup takes place. Though having SakeGohan as your round 1 matchup is a very rough spot to be in, and I am very curious how they take to the almost otherworldly play that we often see out of them.
Yeah. Yeah, SakeGohan with, I mean, the iconic anchor at this point. Their skill and their display in tournaments and just competitive guideline Tetris in general has kind of turned the anchor into a permanent association with SakeGohan.
There is a non-zero amount of players that are like building up like PTSD from just seeing SakeGohan and like rank you at this point. It's a terrifying sight to see, like once in a blue moon, depending on the time zone.
It's a terrifying sight, and it's understandable why they're all scared of it, you know?
I mean, someone who is able to consistently play at 1 APP, whether on offense or defense, is someone that I do not want to mess with. And unfortunately, in this matchup, we are probably going to see that more often than not.
Yeah. Well, I think it looks like we are about ready to get this match started. Both players already off to the races, actually. Wow. Right off the bat, SakeGohan immediately off the gates with some impressive speed and efficiency, setting up those T-spin doubles and Tetrises, getting them off just lightning fast. And ooh,
yeah,
Nakagiiroha.
And I think the issue there as well, it's looking that they're a little bit still getting used to playing like extremely fast with the delayed auto shift and the ARR a little bit. But I mean, when you're playing like SakeGohan is completely comfortable playing at almost 3 pieces per second with guideline Tetris, which for a lot of even like the top players is more of like that's kind of like an abnormality or something you do like once for a short period of time. It's a whole different story when you're able to play that fast consistently over an extended duration of time. And yeah, it's, you know, like just trying to actually hold on. That was a really nice fix there from SakeGohan on
yeah.
Stack was still clean.
Yeah, very fast recoveries from certain misdrops. There was a potential perfect clear there. There it is.
And the double, the
two-line. Okay.
Nakagiiroha,
Two back-to-back.
Almost has the ulti, but there's so much damage in the follow-up that SakeGohan, it does not matter.
Yeah, that was just a 1-2-3 combo right there. Just like ulti into perfect clear into 2-line, like.
That was one of the quickest ways to send nearly 80 lines to your opponent. Like just put that into perspective. Was 54 lines in zone from Nakagiiroha, already extremely strong in its own right, but just it seemed like it did absolutely nothing to SakeGohan's board, and I mean, it's very much in a lot of these cases. It's a little understandable when you say some people, it feels like you're just like running into a wall over and over with the amount of damage you have to put up with playing against SakeGohan.
Ooh, yeah, and Nakagiiroha has to clean up a lot of lines in zone. That's definitely going to do a hampering on their efficiency here, and SakeGohan with yet another 20-line ulti.
I don't really like that use of zone meter. I do agree, like, you want to find a way to make this stack a little more manageable, but I think you need to be tanking a lot more because you're not going to be able to get to another quarter zone, unfortunately.
It's such a hard situation to be in when you have a lot of garbage incoming and you only have a small amount of zone. You can't start too low because you're not going to have time to clear lines and up stack at the same time. And you don't want to start too high up because you're not going to have room to actually do anything.
Yeah, it's like, it's finding that delicate balance of, like, you need to use a lot of garbage to kind of keep up with the offensive pressure, but when half of it is coming in 15-line spikes and you just don't have the room to tank it, you know, like, what is the compromise you have to make in order to make sure that that game plan still works out?
Ooh, and that IO misdrop, it's gonna be very rough. Fixes it with a nice L spin, but there is still quite a bit to fix, and that is another misdrop.
Oh, wow. The forecasting on the, what was that? No, that was Prophecy on the T-spin double, or Super T-spin double, excuse me. And 68 from SakeGohan, just a beautiful finish on top of it.
Yeah. Nakagiiroha, however, is in an okay situation, has room to downstack, has a full zone charge. Could try to mitigate this, but I think the amount of pressure that SakeGohan's going to be providing is going to be a little bit too much. But actually, no, I stand corrected. Able to mitigate all of that damage, but SakeGohan is in the zone, going to be getting that ulti. That's
no.
Those are some misdrops to be making. That's rough. That is rough.
Yeah, it's like sometimes people say the most enjoyable way to play Tetris is to, you know, stack on top of your problems. That is not one you really want to see on the board.
That's not going to be helpful when your opponent can also put a bunch of garbage underneath your mistakes.
Oh, that's another 300 zone attack per minute round from SakeGohan. They have just been going into zone and out of zone as fast as possible, but makes zero compromises in the process.
The efficiency from SakeGohan is nuts. And look at that. Sets up T-spins kind of just out of nowhere.
Wow.
From an external eye, if you're looking a little more externally and not more long term, you'd think SakeGohan is consistently misdropping, but no.
Oh, Nakagiiroha is in a state that you just have to keep skimming over and over. But
yeah, it is constant skims. Has a little bit of breathing room thanks to the zone, but it is
all clear.
It is just calm before the storm.
They're looking for a curb. They find it.
There it is. 83 attack. That is gross. Normally you'd see curbs with around 60, 70 attack. 83. That's just a testament to the staggering efficiency that SakeGohan has. It is absolutely disgusting how efficient SakeGohan is.
No other player can you be
more than 1 APP, 172 attacks per minute. That is gross.
There are not many players where I'm trying to say they're looking for a curb. Oh, they found it. And they beat me to that punchline. But SakeGohan just spent barely a second and a half to find a curb after getting a PC on line 18. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It was such a good solve too with the initial rotation. They tucked it under the S piece to get the last two lines.
All I can say at the end of that is that I really hope that we can see more of Nakagiiroha, because having your first broadcasted match be against the literal best guideline player in the world is not a fair judgment. It is I just really hope we get to see more of them in the future. It's that felt unfair.
I mean, there is a reason why SakeGohan is one of the most feared names to see in a tournament bracket, and I think it is come as no surprise that they have shown up to take games and win this event here on out and qualify for Trifecta, which at this point they already have, but I think they're just trying to go as overkill as possible and just try to make sure they drop as few games on their way to the title.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm like, there's not much you can say to comment on the spectacle that is like how SakeGohan plays. But I mean, who knows? We'll hopefully see more of them in the future, like I said, and probably in a much better light, because going against SakeGohan is an extremely tall. It's a David versus Goliath sort of situation.
All right, and it appears we're getting a little bit close to our next set here, so we're gonna start with Uyeshota and Zin. Now, I feel like this matchup has to have happened in the past 2 years before, but I can't remember exactly how those have went. Because
absolutely. If not during tournament, like outside of that, they have to have run into each other.
Because I believe both of them made top 8 for Zone Battle in both 22 and 23. So I feel like even if they didn't end up they have enough of a top level zone play familiarity that they should be more than comfortable with this sort of a matchup. But right now the pressure's on Uyeshota. Zin is able to just kind of relax for this one. They've already qualified for for Trifecta, so this is just kind of like the icing on top if they're able to pull this win off.
Yeah.
But for Uyeshota, they're trying to reclaim the spot back in Trifecta.
Yeah. Yeah, but Uyeshota definitely has the capability to qualify. Definitely, this is, I think, going to be a pretty close match, just overall. Either that or Uyeshota might be able to, pull some sort of spectacle, because we've seen Uyeshota face people like SakeGohan in the past. We've seen Uyeshota also face Kazu, who, for the longest time, was the best Tetris player before getting defeated by SakeGohan. Uyeshota was able to take games off of both of them. So,
to be fair, Uyeshota, I think in Zone Battle, within the confines of TECWC, I think has only lost sets to Kazu. And, I mean, they're the 2 seed right now. I feel like the only obstacle in their path that looks unfavorable on paper is SakeGohan.
Yeah.
But obviously, this top 8 is still so stacked. I don't know how much that 2 seed is really going to help them out.
Yeah. I feel like all of these matches are pretty solid toss-ups. And we're going to have to probably rely on Austin to flip that coin. Anyways, here we go.
Accuracy checks. All right, and Zin
right off the gate, Uyeshota with a perfect clear. Zin doing a bit of freestyle stacking.
That is a little bit odd.
That's very nice. That's a very nice donation.
I'm not used to seeing Uyeshota go for PCs off the bat very frequently, so I'm a little surprised that against Zin they thought that was going to be in their business.
Look at this LST that Uyeshota is pulling off. Kind of just, yeah, perfect hybrid of speed and efficiency right there. Gives them the 7-2 as well as the T-spin doubles.
They were looking to try and play it even more efficiently than that, but just ran out of T pieces.
Yeah, the simultaneous zone finish. But Uyeshota kind of just beats Zin in that department. Look at that speed and efficiency. 156 to 150.
I mean, those are the numbers we were seeing from SakeGohan last round. And, I mean, even in Zin's position, you may be a little bit thankful that you're not playing SakeGohan in round 1, but this is not that much of I wouldn't take this matchup for granted at all. This is not an easier matchup.
Yeah. You never want to assume matches are going to be easier or harder, because that kind of confidence can also just be your downfall. However, I think both players are playing pretty comfortably right now.
Zin's
it's going to be this
really
first zone that decides. Yeah,
so 41 there from Zin, and Uyeshota had a decent bit of cheese to stack through. Now they've cleaned up their stack. The eyepiece locks in, so they're going to have to top out a little. Oh, wait, no pull.
Nope, gets the eye spit, manages to squeeze a few extra lines. But I think Zin's going to be able to use that to get a bit of an attack advantage over Uyeshota here. because...
Oh, and this is quarter
another
area
zone.
now.
Okay, quick clear, quick down stack. But
that a
Zin's going to be
fold?
able to counterattack with something potential, probably much stronger.
I think this is
look
a
at
full
that, up
zone
to
from
14.
Zin.
19? Do we get the
Oh
curve?
my goodness!
So close! 48 attack, though, 19 lines. Still solid overall.
This is, however, this is phase 2, so even if Uyeshota doesn't fully neutralize, they're going to be still doing okay after this interaction. 50k on both players.
Yeah, we're gonna be seeing phase 3 really closely. Actually, Zin might be the one to kick. Zin's probably gonna be the one to kick us over, especially with the zone.
And I love that timing from Uyeshota. Just knew they had a little bit more leeway on making sure they could. Oh, you can see. Oh,
okay.
Zin
doing a bit of spins, and then here we are, phase 3. The cheese has kicked in.
Oh, the
Ooh, and the J misdrop, gonna be slowing Zin down a little bit. But here we go. There's a down stack.
All right, Uyeshota with a side well, still keeping things clean up to 13 lines. Finally having 16. To make some compromise.
Has the T-spin double at the end. 52 attack. Ooh, Zin does not have a lot of room to be down stacking. Yeah, no. Didn't have the right pieces at the right time. But look at that speed.
Now that the game's over, I do want to call out the play from Uyeshota. Right before phase 3 was starting to hit, they intentionally took a large chunk of garbage there from Zin and then immediately sent Tetris into T-spin double and forced Zin to zone when they weren't ready to, right before phase 3. And there's not many times you get to see like a clear cut, this is like a really pivotal moment within zone battle, but that is 100% like Uyeshota is just so knowledgeable about when those things are most important, and it is
that was a really
clear to see why.
Yeah, really well-timed counterattack. You don't see a lot of that strategy is extremely rare, but it's been proven to be pretty helpful to the people who've been using it. So who knows? Maybe we'll see more of that in the future. And just missed the perfect clear. I know Uyeshota was fishing for that hard. But anyways,
a little bit of garbage. I feel like that's gonna probably not be on the table anymore. And
this is a very interesting board from Uyeshota. Huge left side. Okay, gonna go into a 3-wide.
I guess we have 3-wide gameplay. And
managed to get a 12 combo out of it.
And the crazy part as well too is like now Uyeshota has almost a full zone meter, and they have score advantage too. So they control when we change into phase 3, and they even have a bit of a damage buff when that happens.
Yeah.
You can see there it is. Beautiful zone right before the phase 3 kicks. And you can see Zin now is kind of forced to try and play.
18. This has curb potential. Oh, not quite. But that's still a solid 62 attack. And that's going to kick us into phase 3. We're going to have to see how well Zin does. Another ulti, 51 attack, though. Going to have a bit of a disadvantage going into phase 3. Might be too much, unless Zin decides to zone here. Ooh, bit risky to go for the greed. Yeah.
It's a really rough spot to try and downstack in phase 3. You have to either have, like, perfect finesse in your piece placements. But again, like, Uyeshota and Zin are playing over 2 pieces per second. I mean, Uyeshota is pushing almost 2.5 at this point for an extended period of time. I don't really blame Zin for having a bit of trouble in those circumstances, but it is very difficult against a player like Uyeshota to try and still retain advantage going into phase 3.
Yeah, and speaking of trouble, there was a lot of trouble with that board at the start of here. Zin, kind of at a big disadvantage, had to skim a lot of lines, just sacrificing potential attack. But here we go. Both players in a good state to zone. Keeping that efficiency going. Zin skimming a single.
Uyeshota's trying some... I don't think they can pole vault that Z over.
Not quite. No, both players finishing roughly at the same time. Zin taking a few extra lines, but overall... in a pretty good spot.
Oh wow! I really like that overhang there from Uyeshota. I feel like that's very.
Yeah, Zin also had a good one, and there's an STSD to follow.
C-spin there from Uyeshota.
Yeah. Ooh, T-spin triple from not quite triple, but had the triple kick.
They're going for another.
Okay, doing it again. Zin,
Oh, this
is
is
Zin going
phase
for style
3.
points?
I mean, perhaps, but again, phase 3 Uyeshota with no garbage on the board, like, this is usually not a favorable spot to be in. 49, you can see Uyeshota very formidable at maximizing that
Tough
efficiency.
misdrops there.
And even though that was only about like 30-something from Zin, just that little extra bit of difference, Uyeshota is going to take the inch, get a mile out of it. And I think we're on match point now.
Yep. Uyeshota has the opportunity to sweep for the second time. For the second match in the row. And they're off to stacking. Interesting piece placements from Uyeshota there.
Yeah, gotta be a little careful, but Zach manages to recover pretty nicely. Transitions over to a 7-2. Not sure if we'll be
Yeah,
seeing
and
the
Zim with the
ST stack.
T-spin triple going to be starting the zone off of that.
Well, I guess we're doing some ST stacking right now on Uyeshota's side. There is the swag tower.
Oh,
but
there is.
Not a lot
Yeah.
of T pieces to clear through this.
Yeah, that's a T-spin triple right there, but unable to get the second one in zone. Cutting it short, actually. And Zin with an
eye overhang?
attack.
Are we okay? I guess we're just gonna. No, we're not even. Okay, never mind. It works out fine. I was wondering what if they were gonna like tuck an eyepiece in there to clean that up later, or what the initial plan was. But at this point, it might have changed 3 times in the process.
Looks like. Yeah, looks like Zin is kind of just going with it right now.
Oh, but Uyeshota right now, very little garbage on the board right before phase 3 transition.
Yeah,
I feel
gonna
like
enter
in this
zone.
position, you have to find a way to keep that efficiency up, but also make sure you're building up zone meter. And I don't know how much I really like the central.
Ooh.
It does transition.
Ooh,
to
Zin with the
4
T-spin
wide.
into 4 wide. Into
Into-
5 wide and kind of cutting the combo short.
A
but-
5 wide almost worked, but the combo did not go on long enough.
But looks like Uyeshota was still able to get a huge amount of garbage in.
Oh.
And Zin's not looking too hot in this position.
Funnily
Still
enough,
has
the one time when
some breathing room. Still has a little. Not quite.
they actually had a really good garbage RNG. They had 3 within
they
the same
did,
column,
but-
which is like a 1 in 100, I think. But
Yeah,
that
but
was
when
the one
Uyeshota-
time they couldn't use the eyepiece for it.
But when Uyeshota's efficiency is matching that of Zin's speed, it's gonna be a bit of an uphill battle. So Uyeshota's gonna be moving on and is going to be qualifying for Trifecta. Who knows? Maybe we'll see this run. We'll probably see this run back when Trifecta happens in December.
Honestly, yeah. Well, especially because they qualified in different brackets. That is a very likely matchup to happen again.
Mm-hmm.
And given that Zin qualified from Score Attack, that matchup might be one where Classic is the determining factor. And I think that one is going to be a really interesting thing to see if that does end up happening this year.
Indeed. Yeah, lots of solid plays from the players so far.
All right, so we've already seen 4 of our 5 Japanese players to kick things off between SakeGohan, Uyeshota, Zin, and Nakagiiroha. I think only Emiri is left from the Asia Pacific time zones, and then meanwhile we've got the classic OSW Jaden. They're kind of like this. I don't want to say like the iconic duo, but it just so happens that in a lot of like Western tech events, it's always these 2 players, always meeting in grand finals, and it always is a bracket reset, like without fail. It's just, you're always going to see them play 3 sets, and they're all going to go to, a
Match
couple hours basically at this point.
It's these players are nuts.
But for once, that matchup might not happen because they're going to have to pull some pretty sizable upsets if they want to make it to winners finals in this single elim version here.
Yeah.
And I think we've got a little bit of time to get in some of our sponsors as well. So one of our big ones that we have for 2024 this year being Tetris Forever, which is available now, console, PC, I think almost just kind of, I don't know the list of consoles, but I can assume most of them.
Yeah, basically every platform you're familiar with. And we are giving away a Steam copy of the game. I think Austin mentioned that at the beginning. But if you type Forever into chat, you will be entered into a giveaway for a chance to win. a copy of Tetris Forever on Steam. We will be doing that drawing later during the stream. I believe when we enter our intermission, where Austin will be showing off some gameplay of Super Tetris 2 plus Bombless.
I'm a little curious to see how that one goes. I'm not sure how well versed Austin has been in all of the.
I have complete faith in Austin. He showed his prowess with Hatris. Showed off his absolute totally not flawed skill in the MS-DOS version of Tetris. I'm almost certain he will be perfectly fine when we play Super Tetris 2 and Bombless. But anyways, I believe our next match, OSW versus Emiri, is ready to go. OSW, of course, very familiar, very strong name in the North American Tetris community. Kind of known for being just like, he really started as like a dark horse, and then proceeded to just constantly show that he can improve and get better and better and better. Every time he plays, it seems like that there's no ceiling for him. There's no peak. He climbs to the top of the mountain, and then the clouds unravel, and then there's another summit that he could reach.
The funniest thing I think about OSW's play as well, because like a lot of players, especially when they're like picking up the game, they're going to playing in tournaments. You usually have the same style of like the general play style art of you start really inconsistent because you're nervous playing your first couple tournaments and things don't go as well, and then you start to become more and more consistent, more and more comfortable, and you start to kind of level out exactly where you fall, and that goes up and down obviously as time goes on. But yeah, OSW's case has always been they just don't get more and more consistent. They just get faster and they get more efficient. But the inconsistency is still there. So like half the time when you're watching OSW play, you're just like anticipating when the next misdrop is going to happen and what the fix is going to be. Because like I would argue and say they're one of, if not the best player at fixing misdrops, just from the sheer amount of times that they've just embraced that into their gameplay. And I feel like there's very few players that really embrace the misdrop mentality like OSW.
Yeah.
Because not many people have the mental fortitude to keep up with that. But for some reason, OSW just powers through it every time without fail.
Yeah. As for Emiri, though, we, as previously mentioned, we really haven't seen them all that much in the tournament scene, but we have seen the quite a few people have seen them in just ranked matches and Tetris Effect Connected. And as Davo mentioned previously, we have has taken games off of players we know in the bracket. So
I mean, I'm not sure how like the Emiri Uyeshota or Emiri SakeGohan matchup is, but again, if players like Jaden and OSW are able to be around the 50-50 range, or give or take depending on the day, like these are not like this is not someone who looks like a 6 seed of 8 seed player in this matchup. They could very easily be an inverse 3 and 6 seed matchup. It's just you can never really be too sure.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard to kind of gauge how skilled these players are, aside from someone like SakeGohan who stands above the rest. But like everyone else is very strong, pretty consistent. Could have a chance to qualify.
I like the caveat of pretty consistent, remembering that OSW was in this matchup.
I mean, OSW is consistent at fixing himself and getting better, so I'm still standing by that point to an extent.
The results have gotten more consistent. The gameplay has not, which is the terrifying part.
If the gameplay remains inconsistent, is that not consistency itself?
It just keeps getting better and better of a matchup. It's just very confusing because no one else has that same kind of an arc.
I think it's all just a mind game by OSW. Okay. We're just a little bit of a delay. Emiri's just having a bit of trouble getting into the match and ready to go. But
Yep, and we will be shortly underway. Okay.
yeah, but it looks like we're about ready to go now.
So remember, all these sets, I think for the entire bracket, although this might change later on, being first to 5.
Yep. And here we go, OSW. Oh, OSW. Yep, OSW kind of just freestyling. Taking the strategy of foregoing openers and just going straight into a sort of sprint-style strategy.
I really liked that adjustment they had earlier where they were comboing through and had an eyepiece perfect for like a Tetris on the down stack, but they opted not to go for it because they expected there to be a lot more value in saving that for their zone attack, and I really like that decision from them.
I just want to point out how lucky OSW has gotten to get that many like T pieces at the perfect time. He had so many setups and was able to just send them out instantly. And that's going to put Emiri on the ropes, actually.
Yeah, Emiri unfortunately had a rough first zone, and especially just after, you know, like...
Yeah.
You can sometimes get around one rough zone if you're able to, like, have a really nice stack to recover from. But if you're not able to down stack, that really impacts your ability to maximize that zone efficiency. And it's very difficult, even in phase 1 with, you know, the cleanest garbage you could possibly imagine. If you don't have access to that garbage, your chances are as good as phase 3, which are not great.
Yeah, both players just really off to the races here. Emiri getting hit with a lot of garbage due to OSW's just sheer efficiency with this speed. And, well, yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say on that matter, I guess. But, I mean, turning it around here, has a zone, has a nice floating T-spin.
Yeah, this is really good efficiency right now from Emiri.
Yeah.
Only have to skim a single line, that's still going to be almost perfectly clean up to 19 lines, and that is fantastic.
58 attack. Solid stuff. And OSW in the zone now.
4 wide right now.
Nice T-spin double at the high. Oh, and there's a 4 wide. Let's see how much garbage. That's going to cancel out the rest of this garbage.
Oh, the double S, but the garbage is perfect after the 4 wide
this is a line for Emiri there. That was fantastic. And OSW is going to counter with a 4 wide now.
Well, I mean, now since it is phase 3, like a lot of cheese is going to be flying in and out of these boards, so you have to be very careful with your garbage management. And the one benefit of 4 wide, although it doesn't do a lot for your zone meter charge, is it does send a lot of garbage to try and give you a little bit more breathing room while your opponent's fighting off all that cheese.
Yeah, and OSW kind of struggling with this board state. Ooh, has a lot of misdrops, and Emir's going to be taking a point. This is going to be our first match without a sweep. And look at those stats. Very complex. Yeah. That's
hovering around the 150.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are some really close stats. I was looking at Emiri's speed at the end of the first round when OSW kind of just like demolished Emiri in that, and I was just curious because I saw the speed and I was just saying in my head, yeah, that's really comparable to what OSW is doing. And I mean, we were able to see something out of Emiri here, and that proves that they have a reason to be here.
OSW is looking for a way to transition over to that side well, but the Z's and everything else are not really the best in terms of timing. Meanwhile, Emiri gets the 57 zone uncontested, and OSW, due to delaying their own zone, they're going to give Emiri a lot of extra time with no pressure to just maximize their own efficiency.
But this efficiency is really good from OSW. A solid 57 in 18? Yeah.
And so right now, OSW with the better board, but Emiri has more zone shards, so if they're able to recover their stack, they can quickly push a little bit more of that advantage state.
Yeah, that's a perfect...
has a chance to catch up.
That's a perfect right side well from Emiri. Could just upstack this and then start a zone immediately after. But I think Emiri's going to be saving that... saving that for the side 4 wide.
All right, well, It is phase 3, but keep in mind, OSW right now has all the time in the world to stack as clean as possible. They're going to be setting up donations like there is no tomorrow to try and keep up with the 4-wide pressure. We're going to have to see what this looks like at the end of this zone. We're going to get 19 lines.
19 lines, 54 attack. That's going to be a hefty amount of garbage.
Man.
Too much for Emiri to handle.
Yeah,
OSW kind of bouncing back. And look how close they were in performance there.
Yeah, I think the only thing there, and like I'm not entirely sure what Emiri's board looked like towards the end, but I think there might have been a misdrop that closed off the skim options. Yeah. And when you have a full board of garbage getting ready to be tanked in phase 3, you need space, and unfortunately Emiri just did not have the resources for it.
But here we are. Ooh, a bit of a misdrop there.
That one's just going to get skimmed through, it looks like, but you want to be really careful when you're stuck skimming in phase 1.
Indeed.
And although on one front, I do like Emiri trying to play hyper offense to try and force OSW into a bad spot. I think the amount of time that it takes when you have like the board state that Emiri did have, I feel like some of that pressure just like gets missed out on because OSW is able to play fast enough and recover their board. That, in all realness, I think the only benefit that Emiri got was a little bit more in terms of zone charge, and I guess points too, but only being a couple thousand apart is not as much of an advantage Emiri was probably looking for.
And OSW with this down stack. Oh, it's looking to set up that T-spin triple.
And this is now a perfect center well for OSW.
Yep, and enters the zone with that. Phase 3 stuff incoming. Let's see how much OSW can make. Nice. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that was a nice ulti finish. Overall, worked well for OSW. Emiri's going to be met with a little bit of cheese here. And OSW is going to continue that pressure. Emiri going to enter zone here to try and mitigate that.
I feel, okay, yeah, all right. I was trying to make sure that those T-spins lined up properly, but you can see OSW trying to take advantage of those quarter zones. Even though they're not the most efficient, they send a lot of garbage really quickly, and they're usually in those short bursts that can prevent your opponent from getting any sort of, you know, wiggle room trying to make their way back.
That Elmis drop for Emiri kind of... Unfortunately, I don't think there was an out even without that misdrop, but that was a really good showing, really good display of defense. But OSW taking another game here.
I mean, as always, the tricky part with phase 3 is you have to be very aware of your zone meter charge, because like even between like zone meter uses, obviously you're gonna need basically like, oh wait, that's set up, yeah.
OSW that's rough. That's a rough start.
Yeah,
but we'll see what OSW can do because, I mean, as you said it yourself, he is good at recovering from misdrops.
Oh no, but Emiri as well, having a little bit of some interesting stack, decides to top out
good
to recover the stack.
Manages to salvage that T-spin double. Impressive stuff.
But notice the importance as well of, since Emiri ended that zone early, Emiri was able to send off pressure very quickly to OSW and prevent them from just getting a get-out-of-jail-free card. And as you can see already, OSW still with a decent bit of cheese on the board. They have not been able to have an easy down stack.
Yeah.
A decent bit of down stack combo, and
yeah,
about as good of a spot as you can ask to be in.
Both players are really even in terms of score. It's really hard to determine who's going to be the one to kick off phase 3 here. Ooh, OSW's gunning for that triple, and there it is. Oh, into the center 4 wide. All right.
Okay.
And look at the and just blazing speed straight through that combo. 48 attack and 15. Oh my goodness, OSW.
Almost color clear as well. I'm really surprised by that decision from OSW because usually one of the strengths of center 4 wide is the ability to tank a lot of garbage and then just, you know, send everything else that you have in response. But OSW decided to take a little bit more of like a defensive posture with what is usually used in a pretty offensive play style. So I'm really interested that OSW decided to go for that play, but again, it seemed to have worked out just fine for them, so I don't blame them in that decision.
Yeah, Emiri is kind of in a sticky situation here, but has a potential out.
Well, the down stack's there.
Oh, getting really good pieces for the down stack, actually. It's working fantastically.
Oh, they need to burn an eyepiece there to keep that spin. But honestly, they've gotten really good.
Oh, and look at that. A nice Tetris.
46.
Yeah, managed to squeeze in a Tetris there. Has the side 4 wide at the ready. Gonna start down stacking. Here comes the Ren.
OSW needs to counter about 30 lines, and there's already a misdrop on the board.
There's more and more incoming as Emiri manages to cancel out everything that OSW just tried to send to them.
Oh, Emiri needs to be careful. OSW has the combo going.
Yep, and here, yeah, Emiri's down stacking is phenomenal right now. Really playing well in the defensive end. And OSW really doing everything he can to just keep sending out attacks. It's crazy.
And another 40-line attack from Emiri in the middle of defensive play. Again, like, especially seeing some of the offense that you have, you might not think that a 40 zone is impressive, but
that was some really good. That was a really good board read from OSW, managing to skim a Tetris into the T-spin double. That really helped OSW win that round, I think. Getting that extra little bit of efficiency going. Wow. Even I didn't see that. Ugh. That I don't think anyone expected. Jesus.
All right, another double skim helps set up the next T-spin double.
Yeah.
Not sure. Oh, okay, we're going to go for a donation, it looks like, on OSW's board. Emiri right now has a 7-2 well, so should be able to do a little bit of ST and LST to keep things clean. And OSW a little bit caught up in the skims.
Yeah, had to use an L piece to get rid of that T-spin setup. But here's another one just to compensate.
You can see right now, before zone, OSW is only up by about 20 lines. And Emiri spent 54. Oh, wow! And OSW, what a beautiful tank. And now he's gonna...
I'm really just left speechless by OSW's plays here. A lot of these are very interesting. I'm just taking a second to try and parse it, only for it to work out completely fine in the end.
I will say that play from OSW for the like half zone to try and force Emiri to top out early, like that was a really over aggressive play, but they did have a bit of wiggle room to like really, like they have the flexibility to go for it.
Yeah. Ooh, and Emiri with these crazy floating T-spins right now. Able to get some additional spins, abusing that SRS.
47 from OSW, but Emiri is able to neutralize almost the entire thing. Barely has half a board of garbage.
Oh, and here we are.
That's a T-spin triple. We have a bit of like
a little bit of
OSW.
A mini 4-wide. I don't know what these players are doing anymore.
Oh, right now Emiri only has a quarter zone to work with, is desperately trying to get Tetris into T-spin double as soon as possible.
Squeezing in that C-spin. Oh, converting into it. Oh my goodness. What was
beautiful
that?
Conversion.
Oh my goodness. That was so clean.
It cancels the first C-spin in order to get the second one.
Yes. C-spin cancel into a different C-spin. Very nice read from Emiri there. Okay.
Like, usually I'm used to seeing, like, a double-double followed by triple. I'm usually not used to seeing the inverse.
Yeah, we saw 2 triples. Oh, don't stack too close to the sun there.
Oh, but right now, OSW has a half zone meter, and Emiri has a couple of misdrops.
Yeah, things are looking very precarious for Emiri indeed. Has enough for a zone. Is this gonna... there's gonna be a lot of down stacking that Emiri has to do here.
We're going to need a miracle.
I don't know if they don't have the... Oh my goodness!
Oh, just barely. One piece away from getting the necessary skims.
Ooh, I think towards the end there, Emiri was stacking a little bit too much, causing a little bit too much garbage to show up on their board, and that's what led to the downfall there. But oh my goodness, if that wasn't an impressive display from Emiri, that was really good. Taking one game off of OSW, preventing the constant sweeps. But in the end, OSW is going to take it and move on to face, I believe that's SakeGohan. No, Uyeshota. My bad.
Yeah, no, well, to be fair, OSW, I believe for in previous events, like I know for Square One, they faced Uyeshota, and then Uyeshota went on to face SakeGohan. So this would be funny if the bracket was kind of that little bit of history repeating itself, or maybe some upsets happening here and there.
Yeah, Uyeshota and OSW is a somewhat familiar matchup. We have seen this, I think, recorded in tournaments before.
Yeah, and again, like as of recent, there was a 7-6 between Uyeshota and OSW in a first to second.
Yes.
So that that matchup, if you would have asked like 2 years ago, I think most people would have said there's a pretty big disparity there. That is, again, it feels like a coin flip. Like we might have to do the APMEX coin flip for that match. Like genuinely,
yeah, probably.
I feel like we're not gonna get much better of a prediction.
Speaking of APMEX, though, yeah. So APMEX does have a line of Tetris-related collectibles. They come in several different materials: gold, silver, probably titanium, some sort of weird mystical. So probably some weird mystical element from Worlds Beyond. But they are, obviously Tetris themed. As you can see, this coin here. Based off of NES Tetris, which, being on the Classic Tetris channel, couldn't be more appropriate. But I was looking at the collection. I was looking at a few of the other collectibles they have, and they have quite a few that are just based off of the Tetraminos. So if you just want to have like a nice little collectible silver, T-piece to represent all the T-spins we're seeing tonight, yeah, you can go visit APMEX and get yourself one of those.
But then the question is, which piece do you get if you have to choose like one of the 7? Like, which one do you, or you get?
I feel like I made a pretty strong argument for the T piece. We've been seeing a lot of T spins. You could also obviously just get the I piece. Stick to old school. Have the piece responsible for everyone's favorite move, the Tetris. But yeah, looks like our next players are actually basically ready to go. We have Jaden versus Doremy, two very familiar players to the scene.
This is not like this is not a matchup that happens often, but this is a matchup that has happened repeatedly, which I think is very interesting. And I think for the first time, Jaden was able to emerge victorious over Doremy in, I think, their most recent showing. But even like backwards of like 2 or 3 years ago, this matchup was still like averaging like 7-4, 7-5 in some of its instances.
Yeah.
So like they just go back and forth all the time. Obviously, Jaden's recent improvements have usually been related to playing extremely fast and optimizing.
Yeah. Lots of
just getting as many as possible.
Yeah, we have seen some training arcs, so to speak. Jaden currently holding the world record for sprint within Tetris Effect Connected, playing so fast, in fact, that kind of mess with the leaderboards a little bit. Basically broke them, breaking limits beyond what was like possible. So we'll have to see. We'll see how well that speed comes into play here. And I definitely know that Jaden will kind of open up with that 6-3 sprint.
All right, yep.
And indeed she does. A little bit of a misdrop, but nothing a T-piece can't fix.
However, I will say, just put this on record as well, like, there are not many players that stick with TEC as much as Doremy that tend to not focus on speed pretty heavily. But of the players that tend to be a lot slower than their competition, I think Doremy by far is the best that tends to keep playing in our events. And not only that, they tend to play it at like the craziest hours in their local time zone. I still don't understand how they're able to do this time and time again.
It's simple. Pretend your local time schedule doesn't exist and go off of other people's.
You know, that would be nice if the sun didn't exist, but I think the sun exists.
People don't follow, like, these days people don't follow the sun. And look at that, Jaden already getting less than a minute on that win against Doremy.
Yeah, and still 132 though from Doremy, still a really respectable opening blitz from them. I feel like usually we tend to see them hover a little bit closer to that 2 pieces per second, trying to play as efficient as possible, and usually takes a little bit longer for them to make those decisions. But then again, when you have someone playing that fast on the other end of the matrix, that will require a couple of compromises here and there.
Yeah. And Jaden's already in the zone. That's really showing how fast she is to clear those sprints. And look at that, already up to 18, 19. Has her potential. Oh, not quite. Gonna have to get that
52.
Yeah.
And the clean garbage from Doremy gonna help them regain their footing.
Look at this. I am curious to know, because Jaden, like, obviously being the world record sprint holder, will obviously go for a 6-3. But we have seen, we do see that she in fact does still play efficiently. She doesn't go for only sprints. I am a bit curious to know what would happen if she only went for sprints. I don't think it would end with her like winning just because of speed alone, because we have seen players with staggering efficiency. I mean, like, look at SakeGohan. Like, speed isn't everything. SakeGohan has crazy efficiency. But I'm curious to know how well Jaden would do with only sprint.
Yeah, Jaden doing a little bit of the, like, again, wasn't a 4-wide, but definitely tends to be upstacking and trying to use that combo table as much as possible. It is less effective than other guideline titles, but when you're, you know, flying through these pieces at these speeds, sometimes that cheesy garbage can help, but other times it can cause disaster if you're not prepared for it at the top of the board.
Yeah, Jaden had a few misdrops there, and, like, fixed them really quickly, though. Ooh. A bit of an awkward stack, but here's an Imperial Cross.
Yeah, right
Gonna
now,
stack
Jaden's
over that second T-spin, though.
10 lines.
That Z misdrop is kind of dicey, though. Skims it very quickly, but Doremy's kind of already taking advantage of that little bit of time.
That was a really good option there from Doremy to make sure they topped out of that zone before Jaden got through any more of her stack, because that would have... Again, she was very close to making it through, saw the light of day, and Doremy immediately shut the door.
What a good, like, I love to see strategy like that in motion. Like, sometimes it looks like players... Yeah, sometimes it looks like players mindlessly stack and clear and just deal with what they're given. But Doremy was able to read Jaden's board there, see that she misdropped, and then take advantage of the fact that she misdropped. And that's what I think that really helped Doremy get the win that last round.
And especially with, like, how much your APM is impacted by your use of zone. Like, you saw over 300 APM from Doremy in zone, and they were still at a pretty sizable speed disadvantage for that game as well.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like the only other player that really you're able to see a lot of that happen is from, like, Uyeshota. But the only players that really happens against is, like, Akazu, Kashirobo, SakeGohan, and, like, one or two of the other, like, really fast Japanese players, because most of the players in the West just can't keep up with pace.
Ooh, and Doremy already close to the top of the board. Jaden kind of just, like, cranking out attack after attack.
It was a bit of a scary spot for Doremy there very early on.
Yeah, extremely, but
found a way out.
Yeah, a few misdrops on Jaden's board, but, like, look at these. Nice L spin to fix that into a nice T-spin double.
Doremy sets up for the C-spin. Decides to zone into it right before...
Ooh, and look at that. Just so many lines gone in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, and Jaden could tell that Doremy was really close to finishing that zone and made sure that she was able
up to 18. Oh, got the 19, but still has a deficit. Ooh, yeah, Jaden doesn't have the room to deal with that. Doremy's going to be taking another win. And look how close that was between those two.
Well, yeah,
Just
literally, the zone APM was almost identical. The fact that there was a difference of less than 1 in zone APM. I don't think I've ever seen a matchup where that has actually happened unless both numbers were 0.
Yeah, like, my goodness.
And it looks like we're going back to the good old center wells.
There's a nice Tidon from... Yeah. Jaden's been pulling a lot of ST stacking strategies, like, in this game, because I saw a lot of hamburger earlier. It's just like it seemed like she wanted to. It seems like she wanted to play score attack, but that was last week.
I mean, to be fair, if the pattern stacking allows you to like, I don't want to say like, oh, you get to just turn the brain off and kind of like, you know, mindlessly play through it. But I think if you know that you can play fast based on just simple pattern stacking, I mean, why do anything else? Because you're just going to maximize the amount of finesse that you've been able to practice over the past couple months. And just drive home that advantage state, which obviously for Jaden has been one of her most effective win conditions that she's been able to.
Ooh, that's an awkward Z misdrop towards the top, but at least there will be a lot of lines cleared. So, yeah, she can fix it with a nice T-spin triple.
Let's see, Doremy able to still keep things, but yeah, 16 and 45, gonna have a lot of cheese for this phase 3. Where is the down stack? We're able to see up to 6.
A little bit of down stacking, a little bit of up stacking to just try and get something more efficient. But, I mean, Jaden hasn't been really sending much yet, giving Doremy that room to breathe. And Jaden with a zone here. A few misdrops towards the bottom of the board, but overall still pretty strong. Sets up his T-spin triple, cutting off that zone short. What is Doremy going to do to counterattack this?
Yeah, and the scary part as well, too, like, yeah, Doremy only needs to counter about 30-ish lines, but when Jaden's able to build a 4-wide uncontested, it really
that's a lot of incoming garbage. Is Doremy going to be able to stomach all of that? Survey says maybe?
Gets to the quarter zone, but I don't...
gets to the quarter zone, but this board state is not looking too hot. Oh! Oof. Yeah. O-piece just really, really doing everything there. Really sealing the deal. Jaden tying it up once again, 2-2.
But you can see, like, those stats from Jaden take off when she's able to fully show that speed advantage. And, again, it's really hard for Doremy to try and match pace unless they're able to put Jaden in disadvantage. But they've shown with their expert knowledge of, like, board watching and making sure that those attacks are sent off right at the perfect time. Those are the things that they're going to need time and time again, and definitely things we're going to have to be looking to see if Doremy pulls off, because that is going to be by far their best shot at pulling out the win here.
Yeah. So, okay, both players in the zone. Doremy about to finish his first. Nice 52 attack. How's Jaden going to fare?
That up. It's 19.
Finish it with a T-spin single, 55. Overall, not much of a difference.
I'm a little bit curious to see what Doremy's plan will be going into phase 3, because especially once that cheese starts to hit, you want to have that game plan in mind of what exactly is going to happen. Because the second that Doremy starts hesitating, Jaden's going to immediately speed up and try and use that relentless speed to push through any sort of disadvantage.
Yeah, and speaking of cheese, it looks like we're close to approaching phase 3. Even without a zone, Doremy might clear this T-spin double to start... Oh, nope, gonna enter zone to do it.
Now it's phase 3. Okay, so Jaden has the phase 3 zone. Interesting.
Yeah, reduced zone timer. I think she just wanted to find a nice opportunity. The zone timer probably might not be too much of a deal for her in this current moment. Up stacking to 19, yeah, it's about even on the board, and 2 lines of garbage overall.
Oh, wow. Doremy passes up on the T-spin double in order to go for the downstack combo afterwards. But beautiful 7 combo, and I think that may have been worth it. It does trigger the half zone from Jaden. But now in Doremy's spot, you have to make sure you match that efficiency and only has a half zone to work with.
Yeah. And here we are.
Oh, but 33, that's still so much. And Jaden able to do up stacking in the meantime to try and get back some momentum. Oh, but Doremy, after that misdrop, I feel like a lot of that momentum is slipping through the cracks as Jaden tries to find a solution.
Yeah. And look at that. All that down stacking, 36 attack. Ooh, this is so tense. And Jaden setting up a side 4 wide here. Gonna enter zone with it?
Yeah, again, not going to take any risks. Just that extra little bit of quarter zone.
Look at that huge damage buffer that Doremy has to deal with. A lot of down stacking needed. But I think they're segmented enough that even if Doremy misses a few pieces, could still technically stay in this. But so far, so good from Doremy. Getting the quarter zones every single, perfect, right when he needs them, really. And manages to get to the end of the garbage buffer. So close to the top of the board. Ooh, Doremy's gonna need a lot more than just constant down stacking to survive this, because Jaden is providing too much pressure. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Jaden's relentless pressure there. Really well played. Doremy was doing a really good job of survival there, but survival isn't enough. Needed more attack in there.
And again, as we pointed out earlier, the speed is going to be Jaden's biggest claim to fame in this matchup. And the more she's able to play with it uncontested by Doremy in Phase 3, it's going to be a lot easier for her to seal the deal, and it's going to make this an extremely long uphill battle for Doremy. However, this is a bit of an early zone right now from Doremy. Not sure if they're just going to try and make this as efficient as possible. Try and find a poke here. Something like that. 1953. 57, though, from Jaden. Just immediately follows up with almost the identical zone. Not falling behind in zone meter, not falling behind in score, and not falling behind in this match.
Oh my goodness. And these two players playing like machines right now. Jaden with a fractal, getting both T-spins off fairly quickly. Doremy doing very much of the same. Both Doremy with a max zone. Jaden half a zone behind, but slowly... Oh, actually, not slowly. Closing that gap pretty quickly. Fairly quickly closing that gap. But Doremy's already off to the races with that zone. Jaden's going to follow suit here. We're going to see
Doremy had to
how
do a
this
couple
goes.
of skims in that zone, which, again, it's I don't want to say oh, wow, they decided to skim one line. That's only a 50 zone. But when Jaden is on the other end playing just as fast, you can see...
you think... Every now and then when you're playing, you gotta think about cutting corners, right? Sometimes it's just okay, this is straight up not feasible for me to do. I just have to cut this corner, bite the bullet, and just deal with what comes up. The big problem with that right now is that the opponents right now are extremely tough. They're providing so much pressure. They're going to be on your back, and as soon as you make the tiniest mistake, they are going to jump on it and abuse that advantage. And Jaden kind of doing that here. Taking another game, taking this to match point. This is Jaden's chance to qualify for Trifecta.
I mean, 4-2 right now. This is, I think, pretty one of the most sizable advantages we've seen Jaden take in a set with Doremy.
Mm-hmm. But even then, it's still not that big. Doremy still has a chance to bounce back from this. Stacking clean, getting those Tetrises. Jaden doing much of the same. A bit of a misdrop on Doremy's board, but doing a few skims to fix it. Gonna take a bit of a hit on the damage department, though. And Doremy already starting his zone here. Setting a DT right there. Bit of a risky call, but I mean, really paid off managing to get those T-spins off.
Oh, wait. Doremy's
trying to put it over. I think fishing for a curb, maybe.
I think they had to, but they had to play through it so fast that they had a misdrop in the process.
Yeah, that Z piece really really put a huge dent in the timer.
All right, there's enough clean garbage that Doremy should be able to survive all of this pressure, and honestly, they have full zone meter too.
Yeah,
This
look
is
at
a really
this.
fantastic spot.
Yeah,
You can
really
see
good
that it's
situation to
really
be
good
in.
stuff.
Enters zone, kind of just, yeah, kind of just going off, trying to send off a huge attack here, or at least play defensively. 19 gets a nice 20, 61 attack.
This is what we need to see out of Doremy. Meanwhile, Jaden trying to play quickly,
Ooh,
but the
not even
sacrifice is
close to
very
matching
evident.
that. And that is exactly what Doremy needed. A strong attack transitioning into phase 3. Gonna be able to take another point back, closing this gap.
And
But it's still not
surprisingly, yeah, like
still not over.
Doremy didn't even really get force Jaden to play slower. They just played through speed disadvantage, and everything just
Ooh, and
went
look at that
extremely well.
That well for Doremy. Perfect. Prime situation to be in. Jaden has a nice donation into that well as well. But yeah, both players in the zone. This is going to be a contest to see who can do more in their respective zones. Jaden looking real promising with that 18. Gets a nice 19.
Oh
Fairly
my goodness.
even. Oh my gosh. Simultaneous finish. Fairly even zone attack is just like a flurry of blows. Neither of them finding
Oh, the
any
mid-game all
purpose.
clear from Doremy.
You love this.
Oh, I
I'd
think
love
they were
to see
going
it.
for more all clears. They misdrop in the process. Right now, Jaden doesn't have the greatest of zone, but it is enough while Dormy's under a little bit of some rough footing. And they're not able to get the most efficient zone either. This is definitely probably going to favor Jaden a little bit in the long term, but both players really dodging a bullet by not immediately getting pushed up too far through that interaction.
Yeah.
Very solid work from Doremy, working through with down stack to prevent themselves from getting a lot of cheese.
And look at this zone.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, look at this
up
back-to-back
there.
T-spins. Nice clean ulti finish, 62 attack. Let's see what Doremy can do to contest this. But with a
this
lot
is
of garbage
really
in the
clean
way,
right now
things are
from
looking dicey.
Doremy.
Oh, it's looking really clean. 53 attack, still has to accept some
Oh
garbage,
no, they're
though.
hesitating.
Oh,
Doremy
the
has to be really
hesitation. You
careful.
cannot hesitate against Jaden here. You need to have, like, you need to really think fast.
And you can see right now, Jaden has had the time to build up a fantastic center roll stack. And Doremy
Yeah,
is just...
and Doremy had a nice C-spin there to, like, use in the zone, but look at here. Jaden has a half zone. Doremy stacking close to the top with basically nothing. S
Doremy needs a
misdrop to
miracle
boot.
down stack.
This...
Oh my goodness, the
The
triple!
J-spin to come back, but I don't think that's going to be enough, unfortunately. Good thinking from Doremy, but I think... Oh?
Perhaps?
Oh?
Doremy's having to think very carefully about this down
Just
stack.
thinking
Their
really
life
carefully,
depends
thinking
on
really
it.
slow, entering zone, doing a little bit more down stacking. What's this survival?
The issue here, though, is that Jaden is still building up a lot of zone meter in the process. The IRS can live just barely.
Doremy is really doing everything to just delay the inevitable, though. Oh my goodness, really impressive show of defense from Doremy, but Jaden going to be taking that last spot in the top 4 of the zone battle bracket in Grandmasters.
Yeah, and so
Wow.
Doremy gets denied the qualifying spot for the trifecta, and Jaden able to emerge victorious there.
Yeah. Who knows? We might see some wild cards, seeing as some of these players have already qualified. But yeah, that is going to wrap up the top 8 matches, and we are now down to 4. Which is going to be some exciting stuff.
All right. Well, you know what? I guess I will give credit to those at Enhanced that helped with seeding. It appears that the seeding was done properly. But I think like knowing Jaden and Doremy was 4-5, I saw that was like, yep, 100% makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we could have asked for any better from the 4th and 5th seed facing off against each other. Like, that is as close as you really want it to be. for a match like that. Fantastic stuff, though.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see if Doremy makes a run through the classic tournament to see if they can qualify for Trifecta. Because I think they've been in the tournament for the past 2 years, right? This might be the first time where they haven't made it. But again, like just the amount of talent that we're seeing in Zone Battle now is just like unprecedented between the previous year and the next. So it's again, we only allow 4 from each bracket each year, and those spots are dwindling very fast.
Yeah. And before we get to the top 4, we are going to we're going to be entering a little bit of an intermission just to give players a little bit of a break, a little bit of a breather. In the meantime, we'd like to thank one of our sponsors once again, Hyperkin. Hyperkin, providing a lot of very lovely Tetris themed stuff. As you can see here, the pixel art themed controllers come in 3 different designs. You have the I Love Tetris, you have the colorful Tetraminos, and you have the very, very nice Tetris gradient there, going from a nice blue to a pleasing purple. They also have these designs on smartwatch bands. You can get very similar things. I do, in fact, have some of them here. They work best with Apple Watch. They also work with some of the other ones.
Oh, you have you have the watch one. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So there's the nice Tetris gradient. And then there's also the Tetraminos right there.
Yeah, this is also the one segment where we can actually like kind of help out with the promotion. Because
Yeah.
Commando and I both actually have Hyperkid Switch carrying cases.
Yeah.
I was able to get my hands on one at the Futureland event, so I have the I Love Tetris art design.
Yeah.
Got the
And
bigger version of the art.
And
Honestly,
I have the Tetris Effect connected one, and mine's a little bit special because I got it signed by a few people when I was at CTWC. You can see right there. Let me try to like point it out. So right here we have, of course,
like black Sharpie. Like it's kind of hard to.
Yeah, well, it's gold Sharpie, so you can see it. But you have Alexei Pashitnov right there telling me to play Tetris, which, of course, we all do here. And then the commentators, James Chen and Chris Tang, which you will see next week in the Classic Score Attack bracket.
That will be an exciting one to see from next week as well. Yeah, so obviously we'll
nice.
plug our schedules here too. So next week after the which I think I think Japanese also has like a sort of Thanksgiving holiday that's more like date specific, but it should be after the Thanksgiving holidays. On the 30th, we will have Classic Score Attacks qualifying for Trifecta events. Same time frame of 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and then I forget what it is in Japan Standard Time. And then the week following that, we'll have our finals for our Connected Versus brackets, being on December 6th, that Friday. And then the Saturday following that with the grand finale Trifecta bracket on December 7th. The top 4 from each 3 game modes being Score Attack, which we saw last week, Zone Battle, which we're experiencing currently, and from Classic, which we will see next week.
Yeah, very exciting stuff. And once again, we'd like to remind you guys that we are giving away a copy of Tetris Forever on Steam. All you need to do is type Forever in chat. All lowercase, I think. I don't think it really matters that much, but people have been spamming Forever in chat like this entire time, so like you're probably already entered in it, so you don't have to worry too much. But yeah, once we come back from that break, Austin will be showing off his absolute, his masterful skills in Super Tetris 2 Plus Bomb Bliss. So stay tuned for that as we when we come back after this break.
All right, everybody, we are back. We're about to hop into a Tetris Forever showcase while we do the drawing for our giveaway. We're going to play some Super Tetris 2 plus Bombless today. And yeah, I'll highlight the game a little bit here while we prepare to draw the giveaway. If you want to enter, type Forever in the chat for your chance to win Tetris Forever for Steam, a Steam game code. Whether you have it already or you want to gift it to a friend, be sure to enter. I think we have 110 entries so far, so... there's a chance, just below a 0.9% chance or something like that, right? All right, so let's hop into it. Let's open up the game here. Tetris Forever. And actually, to make it easier for my commentators, let me do this. Bloop. Okay. Yes. Welcome in, Commando and Davo. Commando teased it earlier, saying I was going to play the best Super Tetris 2 plus Bombless, or whatever it is, Super Tetris 2 plus Bombless, excuse me. We'll let you decide if that's the case, but yeah, let's get started here.
Yeah. Of course, Tetris Forever kind of being this hybrid of documentary and Tetris games, kind of just going over the history of Tetris very early on. And you can kind of see it being talked about extensively.
Yeah, and there's also a ton of video footage if you're into that kind of thing. So Tetris Forever is kind of like a documentary meets a game for Tetris, of course, with the 15 old school Tetris games packed in as well to go along with it here. But let's hop into the chapter 4, the next piece, where Super Tetris is. And I love these old ads they have and these photo galleries as well.
Yeah, the 80s and 90s were a very interesting time for ads.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is stuff for Tetris 2 plus Bombless, which I believe came out in 1990. Yeah, it says here, 1991. Came out in December of that year.
Yeah, you can say like even in the early 90s, like all these different Tetris titles were so like highly anticipated. Like people like it was already blowing up like just so shortly with all of the different versions of Tetris and just like taking over already by that point in time. It's just absolutely incredible to see where the series went after its birth.
Actually, now I think about it, it came out in 1991. That's very late for the Famicom.
Well, hey, it's a
Which
Tetris game, It's
which is actually probably why Super Tetris 2 exists, which is the Super Famicom version. Nice scan of the box there.
Yeah. All right, let's hop into it. And yeah, last chance to enter the giveaway. We're going to draw just after this showcase before we hop back into our zone battle tournament. So be sure to type Forever in the chat. And all right, let's see what's on what I'm cooking here. Yeah.
Yeah, this is your guys' last chance to win a copy of this game. Well, for the night at least. We'll have plenty later. Anyways.
Okay. What are we feeling? So puzzle modes are also pretty fun. I can kind of show off. We played some puzzle mode last night. I'm not sure what construction is, and contest is a little more. Oh, I'm sorry. So on the left here, you have your kind of more standard Tetris. So let's open up A-type level. Oh wait, that's the music. Is it the music?
Oh,
I'm not sure actually. Let's see what A-type 10 is.
Oh, A-type. Ooh.
Seems to be doing pretty good. We got the next piece.
Oh, there's a little bit of gravity to the piece. Like there's a little bit of weight to the pieces.
It's kind of the FPS on the pieces is a little higher than I realized.
Yeah, it's like it's like a lot smoother than anticipated.
They got to make sure if you're getting that like 6 frames of DAS, you're getting exactly 6 per.
See if we can get a Tetris here. But
the piece rotations are actually like surprisingly smooth.
Yeah, it actually feels great.
The animations look good, yeah.
And I just so happen to be using the Hyperkin controller we were plugging earlier, so I can vouch for it.
Could count to 4. There it is.
Boom, Tetris for Austin.
I'm kind of curious how high speed it gets now, just for the sake of time, because we only have so much time here. Let's just see what level 20 is. Oh, whoops.
Is it like okay, you're gonna have to top out again.
Old school menus here. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, number 1, baby. Told you guys I was the
Beautiful
best
high
player.
score.
Yeah, like I said, we've
see?
been seeing some fantastic plays.
Oh, I am backing out.
There we go.
All right, level 20. What do we got?
Going hardcore here.
It's not
It
too
does allow
bad.
you to slide the piece a little bit too.
It does.
once
It does
drops.
give you some sliding, yeah. So somewhat forgiving.
Oh wow.
Wow,
The
that,
three
yeah, that
S's in
felt
a
a
row.
little. Yeah, that felt lenient. Oof. Look at that. Look at that. Look.
All right, interesting.
Beautiful
This
placement.
this is actually my first time playing just OG Tetris on here, so pretty cool. And we definitely want to check out Bombless, as it's kind of a cult classic, right?
Yeah.
So there are the bomb blocks within your Tetraminos, and yeah, we'll cover it here in just a moment. Let's actually do puzzle mode. We'll see if we can team up here and solve a puzzle.
All right.
Yeah. How hard do we want to go here? Do we want to embarrass
have
ourselves,
no-
or
I have no idea.
what-
here we'll start with the easiest
Um,
one, and then we'll do the hardest one. How about that?
All right.
Are we gonna solve the hardest one? Or is that like too
That's a
much for
great
giving away
question.
the end content?
Oh, okay. So we have to. So I'm assuming we would have to clear a line
Yes.
here.
So we had 2 pieces. We have to have the board cleared. Oh, actually, I failed it.
Oh. Ooh. Oh, I think it's because of where the bombs.
Yeah,
are.
yeah, you're
It's because
right.
where the bombs are placed. It will clear. Okay.
So where do I want to put? I want to put this here, right? Let's see. Am I wrong?
I think that's about where you put them last.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. Okay. I said
Okay,
I would.
so-
I picked the first one not to embarrass myself. That's not going well. Okay, so I need to. What do I have to do? Oh, how about this?
Yeah. Maybe like that.
Yeah, because that'll get at least 3 from.
Yeah. There we go.
Excellent.
I don't.
Mhm.
Excellent.
Ooh, we have a little
Alright.
Tumino
Oh.
there.
And okay. And then
Don't
Oh,
do
not gonna be looking-
Okay, I guess we are doing the last. I was gonna say
It's not gonna
don't give away the last puzzle, but I don't know.
Oh, I'm not gonna be able to solve
this
it.
look. Ooh, this is gonna look-
28.
You can look at your whole. Just 28 pieces. Oh my goodness.
All right, hold on.
28 pieces to demolish an entire column. That's gonna be.
Let me go pull up the graph paper. Hold on.
Here, I got it.
I'm on it.
Don't. No, I got it. Don't worry. Let's see.
Totally.
Well, it's a good start. Actually, that would be poetic if it was just like a bunch of the other puzzles like all combined into one, and you just like did them over and over. They
Ooh,
like lined up
Interminos.
perfectly.
Ooh, that's not gonna blow up everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got pieces of all kinds here. Oof. That's
I'm
gonna be
getting
tough.
I'm getting some connected
Yeah.
versus flashbacks over here now.
Yeah, I didn't know Capricorn was in this.
There's no way I'm
And that
solving
didn't
this
even-
at this point. So,
Yeah.
okay, we're gonna top out and do the drawing for the giveaway. So this is Tetris 2 plus Tetris 2, Super Tetris 2 plus Bombless. I cannot talk. I'm not used to saying Bombless at the end of Tetris. So, all right. So we have 122 drawings, and we're gonna draw in just about 5 seconds here. Last call, and then we'll hop back into TECWC.
Yep. Type forever now or forever hold that eyepiece.
And the winner is
Drum roll.
GD Emiri, who I believe was playing earlier in our Zone Battle tournament. So we got an authentic tournament participant winning today. I believe I saw that user in the Discord earlier. So congrats. Feel free to DM me on Discord, and I'll give you the code following our stream. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And
And
yeah,
enjoy. And
we will continue to give away Tetris Forever codes throughout the final stream. So be sure to tune in next few weeks if you want your chance of winning a code.
yep.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Now for I know Davo and Commando are eagerly waiting to talk about some zone battle. Let's take a look at our bracket. So take it away, you two.
All right. So yeah, before the break, we saw some fantastic matchups. We saw SakeGohan and Nakagiiroha. Kind of a complete shutout from SakeGohan there. Uyeshota doing a great demonstration against Zin. OSW kind of doing the same, but with Emiri putting a little fight into the very end. And of course, wrapping up the top 4, a very, very solid Jaden versus Doremy matchup. But now we are down to the top 4. it really all comes down to who will be able to win this. And it's gonna be stiff competition.
Of this All-Star cast, you see one of these names in tournament, and you say, okay, if there are no other names of these four in the bracket, the one that's here is winning the whole tournament, like no questions answered. But it's basically we've got creme de la creme of zone battle talent. And thanks to the way the bracket works out, we're going to have Japan versus USA for both of these two matches. I think SakeGohan versus Jaden, I know, like, it is a very difficult match. I mean, granted, every person into, like, SakeGohan is generally a difficult matchup. But Jaden has proven time and time again, like, this is not an impossible scenario. Like, there are win conditions to go for. But since SakeGohan is one of the few that can't keep up with Jaden, it is very, very difficult to play like the speed win condition when that disparity isn't as great as something like Jaden versus Doremy, where you were able to see time and time again a lot of those wins came from Jaden maintaining kind of like even footing, and then through phase 3 just completely running away with the game.
Yeah.
And then of course on the other side of the bracket with Uyeshota and OSW, that one I feel has happened a lot more consistently. But, I mean, as we mentioned before, like, that matchup happened yesterday as a 6-7 matchup in a 1st-7. You really can't get any closer than that. Like, that, it's just, OSW has kept getting closer and closer to some of the level of, like, the once kind of, like, untouchable Japanese talent. I mean, we saw them last year 5-4 over Araki and take a handful of games over Uyeshota. Like, this could be the turning point for OSW to, like, really start taking these, big steps and big wins over big players. And, I mean, if they're able to pull off the upset tonight, that would probably be one of the biggest upsets of the year, if not all of TEC in general. But we're getting dangerously close to that point.
Yeah. But here we are, off to the races. SakeGohan already putting a commanding presence over Jaden right now. But Jaden entering zone very quickly. Probably thanks to her. That was a very quick.
That was a lot of cheese to have in phase 1. Unless that was phase 2 and I missed it. Hold on, let me go.
Like, not even 30 seconds passed until Jaden, like, went into zone and completed it.
Oh,
ooh,
wow. A 65 curb.
Okay. Right off the bat, like, these players just showing exactly, like, what they're good at. Jaden with her speed, SakeGohan with his
oh, no, the eyepiece. Oh, that would have been perfect for that garbage well. And
it would have, but, it's so hard to tell how... Oof.
All right, there's a little bit of time.
Well, these misdrops are a bit rough, and it's a little bit too much for Jaden that round. But look at that speed. Outspeeding SakeGohan that round.
Again, like, anyone who's able to, like, these players are able to keep up with each other in terms of speed, and, like, that, it's insane to think about, but these are probably two of the fast, if not the fastest two TEC players. Jaden with the all clear on the Tetris out of that 6-3. Definitely the PPT sprint practice is helping there with the amount of all clear fighting that's required for that. Actually going to get the color clear as well, as I call it out a second time.
Yeah, unfortunately, there is still...
The all clear is here.
Yeah, there is no benefit to a color clear, though. 54 attack. What is SakeGohan going to pull out? A nice 63 attack.
Oh, no! Okay, there's enough room for Jaden.
No, Jaden's still good. Jaden's still good.
I did not see the skim option there. I thought Jaden held. I was like, oh, yeah, that's not...
No, that's fair.
But yeah, no, Jaden, again, with that garbage, has managed to survive. Very nice on the forecasted STSD. Gonna send in a zone shortly before phase 3. Try and give themselves as much time as possible before that extra timer kicks in. 40 from the ulti, so not gonna be terribly strong. But that's still a lot of damage for SakeGohan to deal with.
Jaden with a nice anchor to get that Tetris. Gonna be able to just keep playing clean.
Oh, beautiful spin there. 68 from SakeGohan, and this is 2.5 seconds.
Oof. That was done so fast, and Jaden just has nothing. to react to. Oof. Good me.
There are not many people that are going to match Jaden's speed and also get near that one attack per piece, but SakeGohan is one of the players that you'll be seeing consistently whenever they decide to show up to the event. You know they're going to be playing fast, they're going to be playing efficient, and they're going to be a lethal menace to anyone that's in their bracket path.
Yeah. And I mean...
Oh, wow.
Ooh!
You got the swag tower into C-spin finish from SakeGohan to keep it clean. Jaden tanks.
Jaden had a misdrop there. Oh, that is... Look at that. They had the same exact speed, but SakeGohan just, you know, squeezing out that efficiency, especially with that T-spin triple tower into C-spin.
Oh, no.
No, that's not good.
But,
Managed to get
again,
a T-spin single off of it, though. Like, managing to... I mean, skimming it to a pretty, like, manageable state. Will Jaden take, like, a hit in efficiency? Yeah, but, like, still able to, like, power through this.
Alright, a little bit of an early zone there from Jaden.
Another misdrop J, unfortunately. Gonna have to do some skimming to get rid of that. Clears it nicely. That's gonna be a hampering on the attack, but that is still an ulti 61 attack. Ooh, and SakeGohan with the perfect
the clear on 19. This is going to be a curve. 98! 98 from SakeGohan. I think that's a new tournament record from them. Nearly 100 in competition.
That was disgusting. That was absolutely disgusting. Have mercy.
You know, sometimes, like, I know we have a habit here on the TECWC casting metaphorical booth, right, of being utterly speechless. But there's a couple times where I think it makes sense.
Like, what else are you supposed to say about that? SakeGohan found the exact state to be in. Started PC looping, and then got 98 attack out of nowhere? Oh my goodness. Have mercy. Oh,
we have not seen zone numbers that high since Araki has been playing consistently, and even then,
my goodness, actually. We have seen insane numbers from Araki, but like...
Well, Araki didn't... I don't think Araki got past 90 in, like, the Square One sets and things like that. I think Araki got, like, a high 80. But that was realistically as
I mean, Araki's also had plenty of clips with like 100+ attack, but like that is still extremely impressive to just pull out of the blue.
All right, SakeGohan.
But I mean, Jaden is in. I mean, Jaden is prepared right now. Has a 4-wide going. I think activated zone a tad too early.
And a misdrop that's going to require a lot of soft dropping now to get through.
Yeah.
And SakeGohan has a center well to stack through. This is just...
don't you dare pull out something insane again.
Another 60 attack. I think SakeGohan has averaged over 65 line attacks from all of their zones in this set.
Yeah, like 65. 65 is like a... I mean, yeah, no, that is just like consistent curve damage for each zone. How, like, it's crazy how well he was just able to pull through all of that. I mean, if you had to pull your A game against someone, you really had to pull it against Jaden. Oh my goodness, that was just brutal.
I mean, the amount of people that can make top 4 matchups seem lopsided can quite literally be counted on one hand. And usually... Even with like players like Uyeshota and with players like Kazu, like there have been a number of times where some of those sets, like if you are having like first to 5s, first to 7s, you'll start to see that they're not always sweeps. SakeGohan literally feels like a speed run every single time you watch them play. They just it's again almost flawless fundies. The finesse is always perfect, optimizing every little piece placement to its maximum potential. And all of those little tiny advantages culminate to the monster of play that you see. That, again, to the world record sprint holder, to a feat that was thought impossible. And it just feels like it doesn't seem like it's getting anywhere against that kind of an offense. And it's incredible to see that level of dominance at a top level when so many other players find it so extremely difficult to just have the doubt. Like, it doesn't seem like SakeGohan is fazed by anything that shows up. They can be playing a fast player, an efficient player, someone who just decides to always, accept and receive garbage all the time and tries to kind of like fire back with those counter spikes. It doesn't matter what the play style is. They are always unfazed. And it is very rare to see, even at a top level, someone be that unfazed by this kind of a player.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Although I will say, I am excited to see if that matchup recurs in Trifecta, because again, all these players that you're seeing now have qualified for Trifecta. I am curious to see how Score Attack and Classic goes, because those could also be very close in their own right. But SakeGohan is making a very solid case that Zone Battle is a very, very solid, safe matchup when they make it into Trifecta this year.
Oh my goodness. I mean, there's not much else I can say here. Like, you really hit the nail on the head with all of that. I'm just, I don't know. I guess I just need I just need like Uyeshota versus OSW as a bit of a palate cleanser, because that was kind of an like unfortunate, brutal beatdown.
Sometimes that's how it is, but the fact that SakeGohan keeps doing that to players that are typically the ones winning tournaments just seems unreal.
Absolutely bonkers, insane plays.
I keep showing up for these things, and I'm like, okay, SakeGohan's here. Oh, I gotta brace myself for the level of play that we're.
Yeah, you think you're prepared. No, it's never enough preparation.
We're gonna see like the 110 Impossibilitress in like 2 months from SakeGohan at this rate. Like, that's the only place to, like, you can't go further up than just we're gonna see a 3022.
If that happens, I think I would legitimately just pass out.
Please be careful, Commando. Make sure you stay hydrated.
I'm well hydrated. It does not matter. If someone pulls out a play like that, I would probably just already be on the floor.
Oh my.
That, like, there is no amount of like reaction to give to that, to a play that like monumental, that extreme. Like, it's just there's nothing else you could really do aside from just completely lose your consciousness. Anyways, we're gonna have to see who's gonna be the person to stand up against SakeGohan, because I mean, both players stand a chance of at least taking a game.
Actually,
but like the entire match is going to be hard.
I don't think OSW's played SakeGohan in tournament before. I may be wrong on that statement. I know Uyeshota has, and Uyeshota has proven to at least hang in there enough. Like, again, it's still a losing matchup for Uyeshota. At least I think most of the community would agree as such. But Uyeshota, at least we know for a fact, can take games pretty regularly off of SakeGohan. But even as a defensive player, OSW is one of the few in the world that is capable of shaking the immovable wall that is Uyeshota.
Yeah. OSW has had a good track record of upsets in the past. And I mean, he has not stopped his momentum. It has just constantly been getting like higher and higher. It's really crazy. So we're just going to have to see how this goes. And right off the bat, OSW is already off to a good start, while Uyeshota has
got the
quite
really
a bit
early
of garbage to deal with.
Zone. And the top out as well. I like that decision from Uyeshota, trying to make sure they can build up their next zone, but they also misdrop on top of it, which makes it scary. Like, still building up on the phase 1, phase 2 zone meter. OSW not the best finish on top, but still 59.
59 and 16, mind you. That is like that's like ulti levels on 16 zone lines, which is crazy efficient.
Wow, the amount of tanking that Uyeshota, just no fear. Just knows exactly, says, yep, I've done the mental math. This is going to work out in my favor. We are all in the clear to accept this amount of garbage. And again, like the ability for Uyeshota to make these plays on a moment's notice is why they are so incredibly difficult to top out.
Oh, yeah. And now, I mean, OSW with his impressive and blazing efficiency, already taking this to well into phase 3. Currently at a score of 75,000. Garbage is already
beautiful down stack, though.
Yeah, look at this. It's, I mean, this is like, here we're seeing like, we're seeing. I don't want to say human levels of skill. Like, because these players have done so much and gone way above and beyond what like people are normally capable of. Right, but like this feels like a bit of a palate cleanser compared to like what SakeGohan was pulling.
Okay. Oh, all right. I was gonna say I was wondering if OSW was gonna try and take that residue from the left side and make that into a 4-wide, but it appears they are going for the tried and true T-spin doubles and working their way through with the down stack. A little bit of timing there from Uyeshota as they had quite a bit of a nice up stack. Forces OSW to keep tanking more and more garbage, which again, as you get deeper into phase 3, you feel every
OSW is doing a lot of
garbage.
risky stacking right now. Kind of like stacking on top of his garbage, and then on top of some of his own stack to clear all the way to the top. Like, ooh, like, don't get too close to the top, Icarus. Like, oh my, ooh, bit of an Elmis drop.
Yeah. There is a nice skim there for OSW.
OSW is making a few mistakes, but let's see if he can. Oh, that's risky. Oh, that's going to be rough.
Uyeshota has the full zone meter, and they know
look
exactly
at this.
This is their chance to strike.
This is kind of like the fighting game equivalent. This is like the Tetris equivalent to abusing advantage, like in a fighting game.
Yeah, that's over 20.
Oh, and yeah, look at that. Uyeshota managed. Yeah, Uyeshota attacked at the right time. That was a really good play from him.
Yeah, finishing with the swag tower as well to end the round. Over 120 attack per minute. And OSW actually like maintaining a decent little bit of a mini speed advantage. But again, against a player that's very comfortable with defensive play, you're not going to be able to win on speed alone.
Yeah. Like it's...
Oh, that's a really good opening spike though from OSW. Fantastic downstack into the quad. Forces not a great zone from Uyeshota, and OSW, although not really ready to zone in their own right, they know this is
look at that.
A lot of garbage early.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that was a very nice finish to that zone. Very clean. Maintaining that freestyle stack.
Quarters from Uyeshota. Yeah. And it's only a quarter zone advantage right now for OSW, but that's also score advantage.
Yeah, OSW, like, maintaining a solid advantage here. Speed, efficiency, has no garbage currently, kind of just canceling out anything that Uyeshota tries to send him, save for that 5. But there's a nice fractal here, that second T-spin ready and waiting, and gets it in the zone. Not able to clear out all those lines in zone, but like still has plenty of clean space to move around, work around with. Nice count to 4 for OSW, getting that Tetris before opening up that next well. Little bit of combo, leading into another Tetris. OSW is playing this very cleanly and efficiently, save for that misdrop. Oof.
Yeah, it's a really difficult misdrop to dig back from, and
and that's going to be too much.
Enough. And so 2 straight there from Uyeshota.
Yeah. And look at that efficiency. Pretty close stat-wise. Let's see if OSW can pull this back, though, because he's entirely capable of doing so.
We're going on with our typical 6-3, both Uyeshota and OSW well-versed in the art of 6-3 stacking. A little bit of early damage taking there from OSW. Able to recover.
Yep,
And
okay.
again, beautiful job of opening that stack. 7-2 is almost perfectly clean. Well, Uyeshota's going to be the first one to zone, in fact.
Yeah. And that zone finishes with a nice solid 59 attack. Let's see what OSW can do with this efficiency. Because, I mean, solid T-spins Tetris is going so far. I just saw some... I feel like I saw something crazy going on. Ooh! Ulti finished 57 attack. Yeah, Uyeshota's sending a lot of stuff outside right now.
Yeah, but keep in mind, this is a lot of score advantage for Uyeshota. They're going to send this into Phase 3 really quickly. And yeah, with no garbage on the board, they are more than happy to push that over the edge.
Yeah, and look at this. Like,
A lot of man-made stack for Uyeshota.
yeah, indeed. OSW has a lot of garbage here, and his downstacking is he's doing phenomenal with this downstacking, finding the perfect pieces to use everywhere.
Oh my goodness, the 11 combo.
Oh my goodness! Like, just impressive plays overall, and that is a huge spike to deal with, but OSW has a perfect full zone to deal with. Solid downstack potential, already up to 16 lines, blocking it off, 45, canceling out the rest, sending something over to Uyeshota. Uyeshota, okay, it's just a small back and forth now. It's crazy.
Old little mini misdrop.
Ooh, and those misdrops from Uyeshota, this is OSW's chance to just take advantage of the situation.
Oh, but now it's Uyeshota's time for the down stack.
Yep, getting a solid one as well. 9 combo. And look at this, T-spin triple tower. There's the first T-spin. Where's the second T? There it is. About time. Goes into zone, following it with some combo, some Ren.
A little interesting.
Ooh.
But it is
42
very
attack.
fast.
Uyeshota has a full zone to boot, though. And OSW, nice back-to-back T-spin right there. Oh my god, look at these reads for OSW.
3.
Like, there are some great reads from both players here on their setups. This is
There's no zone meter for Uyeshota to tank that, just decides to
ooh, yeah, just have to accept it. Things are looking rough, but I mean, still manageable. Both players in a good spot.
I mean, look at how well Uyeshota has gotten through their own upstack board, and it feels like the garbage is just not there anymore.
Yeah. And look at this. Stacking on top of the garbage and then down stacking in the zone. Pretty solid play there, but let's see what OSW can do to retaliate. Has 3/4, about 7.5 seconds to do something here. Doing a lot of upstacking, maybe a little too much? No, that's still 40 attack.
Yeah, but Uyeshota not really accepting too much garbage, able to upstack fantastically so.
Oh my!
And get a lot of damage through really quickly.
This is a real good back and forth, like a real good tennis rally between these two players. Probably doing Pajitnov proud right now. This is I mean, it is just a back and forth. This is just you know, who's gonna win this? It's really hard to tell. No one really has a clear advantage for that long.
Oh, a little misdrop there from OSW.
But that's a full zone, starting it with a T-spin double.
Oh, but Uyeshota had a little bit of a misdrop on their own stack too, but with this...
Ooh, that eye did not go where OSW wanted it to go. But, I mean, still kicking it over, still getting 17 lines, 42 attack. What can Uyeshota do here? Oh, the L misdrop. 44 attack, still sending garbage over to OSW. No signs of stopping. We are now almost 5 minutes into this round. Like, what is going on?
Another down stack from OSW to keep themselves alive. But it's been absolutely
yeah, look at this. Perfect pieces. Enough room to do T-spins.
For most players, there would be no room for T-spins, but this is OSW we're referring to, and there is always room for T-spins.
Ooh, that Z misdrop. Is that going to determine the fate of this round? It is! Imagine that, a 5-minute round ending with a Z misdrop. Had it not been for that, I feel like we would have been here another 7 minutes.
Like you can see as well, like Uyeshota is not really falling that far behind, but their efficiency is off the charts, making sure to get as much out of these zones as humanly possible.
Yeah, Uyeshota's running away with the lead here, but OSW is showing that he can put up a fight, and he's not going to make Uyeshota get this win easy if he's going to get it at all.
All right, a little bit of an early zone from Uyeshota. Misdrops a couple on the left side, which is really going to hurt that zone efficiency, especially because they can't really reliably top out early.
All right, and this 46 attack to start off the zone game. OSW, what is he going to do? The answer? Play clean and efficient and all the way up to 17, getting the ulti 58 attack.
And
that is a huge spike. Uyeshota, yeah, has no choice but to either enter zone or face the consequences.
Oh my goodness, PC for OSW.
Look at that, another huge spike to deal with.
PCs, but not going to be able to find anything immediately.
That is, I mean, that is still clean garbage for Uyeshota to use as retaliation.
It's still phase 2.
Oh?
And
yeah.
OSW tanks immediately sends it into phase 3. Beautiful timing. And the unfortunate timing of the misdrop there from Uyeshota really going to put them on the back burner right now.
Yeah, Uyeshota on the ropes right now. This could end terribly. But I mean, both Uyeshota and OSW have shown one thing, and that is they have a lot of downstacking prowess. They are able to just keep things going, even when it looks real tough.
Well, especially in OSW's situation right now, like it's 3-0 currently. You need to find a way to pull this win off. And right now for Uyeshota, if they're able to get 4 straight back-to-back, it will almost all but seal the deal. And the beautiful downset 41 again. I feel like there's very few players that are able to so consistently pull off down stacks within zone of phase 3 to maximize that efficiency, but Uyeshota, time and time again, makes it happen.
Ooh, this might be too much for OSW to handle. Oh, nope, manages to reach the end, but here it is. OSW getting met with another huge queue of garbage. The down stack is phenomenal. OSW is just demolishing this, but Uyeshota, I mean, just has plenty of ammunition to just keep sending more and more and more and more. This is crazy stuff going on. OSW has to do so much to try and get out of this situation. It's so hard. It is such an uphill battle. That garbage queue is endless.
Oh, it's going to be very careful with where you place the T-piece. Especially with how it relates to parity.
Yeah, it is crazy. And the J misdrop. Oh. Yeah, that is the final nail in the coffin here. Uyeshota taking that point once again.
This is
OSW's last stand.
I know that this, like, especially just on paper, people that may be seeing like Uyeshota OSW be like, oh well, surely it's just, you know, the Japanese player base being built different. Uyeshota is like doing so well. This is honestly unprecedented. Uyeshota being up 4-0 over OSW.
Yeah, but
I don't think this.
If anything, this will show that OSW has a chance for an insane comeback, and it's entirely possible. Is the thing. Like, it's not far-fetched to say that sort of thing.
I mean, of all the players that tend to be, you know, like the king of comebacks in the community, OSW is in fact.
OSW is the master of upsets. And we're gonna have to see this zone.
Be careful with the IRS to make sure they get that eyepiece in.
Doing things very nicely, able to squeeze those extra lines in, but that did give Uyeshota a bit more time to squeeze in some more attacks. So, not sure if it was it worth it in the end. It's a bit of a toss-up.
Oh, that misdrop is gonna make things a little bit difficult. You can see that does force a zone out of OSW, not in the position they were really hoping for. And Uyeshota only needs to counter 10 lines actively, probably about 20 by the time this zone is over. We'll have to see how big this attack is going to be.
Very nice combo from OSW, and it looks like he wants to start another one with this side 4-wide, and here it comes. Ooh, getting cut short with But that's still 21 attack in 9 lines with a half zone. That is pretty impressive. Continuing the combo outside. Look at that, 19 combo.
That 4 wide decision was the best one that OSW has made tonight. And it has saved
that was a very good decision. And look at this. We're in phase 3. Like, 2 minutes in, Uyeshota's already 100,000 points.
Beautiful.
And look at that, very nice.
OSW.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Hey, same brain. Great minds think alike.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect from 2 Davids?
Fair enough.
But here we are. I mean, into phase 3. Both players kind of just... This is, like, I feel like this is a very nominal state for players to be playing in phase 3. Like, OSW is very risky towards the top, but, like, overall... Okay, he's greeting a little too much. A little too, like, too past comfort.
Well, this is going to be a really strong zone right now from Uyeshota at 1958.
58 attack in phase 3. That is disgusting.
And it looks like OSW is going to rely on the outside of zone 4 wide to help a little bit with this damage output.
Yeah, that is a lot to cover, though. OSW got met with a lot of relentless attacks from Uyeshota. But OSW able to mitigate a good majority of it, still has a lot on the board. It's gonna take a lot more than just Ren gaming, my friend.
Well, we have a little bit of mid-game down stack. Perfect 2x2 on the garbage to help out with that thing there.
Yeah. Manages to clear out a good chunk of that attack, but Uyeshota still has room for more. OSW is going to have to pull something extreme here, or Uyeshota's going to have to get extremely unlucky. Those T-spins really hurt OSW, actually. Uyeshota has no choice but to zone here, or just, you know, have to lose it all.
And they'll probably counter the full board. Yeah, so 32. But keep in mind, like, OSW spent like 20-ish lines with barely a quarter zone to their name.
Yeah, OSW playing really good here, really doing great with survival. I mean, that's what the S stands for. Oh my goodness.
And a little bit of mini down stack combo as well. Gonna have to do an S-spin to clean up that misdrop. Deciding to play
has a full
earlier rather than later.
Nice T-spin single to boot. Few misdrops. Things are a bit dicey. Looking to get an L piece to spin into there, and there it is. Yeah. I'm not sure if that was worth it though. Keeps the board clean, yes, but Uyeshota has a lot. Oh, never mind.
Only 36. Those misdrops on Uyeshota and not able to get to that.
Uyeshota's starting to slip, it seems.
I mean, to be fair, it's been a long set. I don't blame Uyeshota for not being able to.
Yeah, it's been so long. Like, even this, like, it says 4-0 here, but it does not show the fact that Uyeshota had to spend a good amount of time trying to beat OSW for each of those rounds. It's like, the numbers don't say everything. You can't just say, like, OSW is like, oh, he lost by that much to Uyeshota. That doesn't mean he's a good player, is it? No, that's absolutely incorrect. Someone, like, you need to watch the match to know that the numbers don't mean everything. And OSW is really proving that with how much of a fight he's putting up here, setting up another side 4 wide. Oh, that's a bit of a J misdrop towards the top, but I don't think that's going to deter. OSW, you got to stop stacking for that 4 wide, man. You got to keep going. You got to start down stacking now. There's no other room for you.
What is the option? Oh my goodness, the beautiful
into zone?
OSW needs another 4 wide.
It was a huge Q for you there, Chief. Are you going to be able to survive this? I don't think...
They're prepping the down stack. They intentionally delayed
Do you have the room for that? No, I didn't think so. Oh... I feel like OSW stacked a little too much into that side 4 wide and then messed it up. Kind of invested a little too much into that, but that is going to be the end of this match. Uyeshota versus OSW. You don't expect sweeps to be so nail-bitingly close. We have seen two sides of the 5-0 coin. We saw SakeGohan completely annihilate Jaden. in his match against her in the semifinals. Meanwhile, here we saw probably one of the closest matches so far, only for it to end in a sweep. 5-0 means nothing in words. You have to watch the match to know exactly what happened, what led to this moment. Uyeshota swept, yes, but OSW made him fight for it. There is no other way to put it.
I will say, at least in comparison to OSW's previous gameplay, I do think they had a little bit of trouble managing like the misdrop fixes. I think they seem to be a little bit more difficult, kind of like working around that. And for the most part, you could see like with some of the like 4-wides, that was their attempt to kind of like just get a little bit of a higher damage output and focus on, you know, the zone management and the board state a little bit later. But I feel like Uyeshota, like being in the driver's seat for that much of the set, like obviously, yes, it was no easy task, and playing 1 APP at that speed is an insanely difficult task. And I mean, to be fair, it was, you know, a little bit of extra credit, probably closer to like 0.9 rather than 1. But still, the ability to play that efficient against OSW and make a set like that turn into a 5-0 is honestly that's more impressive, I think, from like Uyeshota than it was that we've seen from some of their recent plays. Like that is a very solid performance, and if they continue to play like that against SakeGohan, this could be a very interesting winners finals match.
Yeah, I mean we're seeing a run. We're already seeing a run back from Tetris from the block party tournaments.
Actually, what was it Uyeshota SakeGohan and block party? I think it was, right?
Yeah, like we're seeing a rematch, and I mean we've all like I think we've also seen this match quite a few times before. Like there is a bit of a story behind this, but like, oh.
All right, and so before we get into our last match, we do want to give a couple more shout-outs to our wonderful sponsors. Again, TECWC could not happen without all of the wonderful organizations and people that are behind the scenes making this happen and funding this event. So,
yeah,
we're gonna give.
I feel a little exhausted from that match, and it's a good thing we have our sponsors here to help us. I think Austin is prepping it for us right here. We've got the Power Bears Tetris gummies, as well as our other sponsor in the back. We have Red Bull. We are going to be providing. Thank you for the wonderful presentation of stuff. But there is also a bit of a twist. We will be giving some of these Power Bears Tetris gummies and cans of Red Bull to our tournament winners.
I mean, to be fair, if you too may be able to see your zone attacks fly off the charts with the wings from Red Bull. I mean, 98 zone attack from SakeGohan. You might need a plane to catch up with that. I'm gonna be honest. Like that's a big step up from a lot of the other zones we've seen.
Yeah, we have seen the wings that these players have used to soar to the top of their boards in zone. And I don't know, maybe Red Bull will give you the wings to do the very same, right? But now it all comes down to this, the rematch, the storied history. You have all been waiting for this very moment. Uyeshota versus SakeGohan. Oh boy.
Yeah. No, boy. It's always here's the match. Just take the deep breath, compose your thoughts. Take the deep breath,
get your water ready, grab some popcorn probably, bag of chips, some sort of snack, because we are going to be here for a wild ride, okay? Like, Uyeshota, we got SakeGohan, a kid who's, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, still in middle school, and we have Uyeshota, a player who has been in this for years on end. Literally old guard versus new blood.
I mean, again, Uyeshota knows a thing or two. They've seen a thing or two, and they know how to play when they are against, one of the strongest offensive forces on the planet. But SakeGohan is going to be most likely unfazed if we've seen anything from. Okay, well, I guess we're just seeing an STSD with no fear. So, my initial hypotheses turn out to be looking pretty good. And
Uyeshota with a few misdrops at the start here. That's not a great look, especially
oh,
towards
that
the Doremy.
Kino is gonna force a top out.
Oh, come on. No, this one. Wipe this from the records. Let's run that back. Let's run that back. That's not the Uyeshota we know. Like everyone runs into mistakes. That is that is just what happens. Uyeshota can run this back. We need to give him another chance.
But again, if anyone's gonna make sure to capitalize on any weakness that they can snuff out, it is going to be SakeGohan.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I feel like it stops being reaction time at some point, and it's just they just play offense. There is no end to the offense, so therefore they are always giving the perfect punish at every single moment in time. Already perfectly.
And then we have a little bit of LST stacking from Uyeshota. I know one particular enhanced member is going to be very happy about that.
Oh, SakeGohan, little misdrop
55
on the...
attack and 17, a bit of a misdrop. Excuse me.
And 51 from Uyeshota, but done with a little bit more extra credit outside of zone.
Yeah.
However,
it's looking like there's the evenness we were looking for last round. No misdrops, no mess ups. We've got exactly what we needed here from Uyeshota. Uyeshota doing his best.
And there's that classic Uyeshota timing, knows exactly when they can tank some extra garbage and when they need to focus on countering.
And the bell has rung. The cheese is being rolled out as we speak.
And very nice T-spin single. That's going to lead to a count to 4 situation from Uyeshota. A little bit awkward on the side. Sets up the Kaiden to help keep that stack clean. SakeGohan 12 lines into this fantastic zone. Looking to see if they can go for potentially more. Going to get the 20 for another 60-line Ultimatress.
Lots of cheeky T-spins here from Uyeshota. Lots of singles there. I mean, did a good job in terms of zone damage, and that's going to help. SakeGohan with a nice C-spin, that T-spin triple into T-spin double. And Uyeshota with the STSD. Gotta love seeing those T-spins back to back to back.
I like that hesitation of, like, Uyeshota saw the Kaiden a little bit early, but had the Tetris at the ready. And so they waited, made sure that that Tetris went through as a counter rather than send garbage to SakeGohan. And then
I love like intentional tanking, like calculated risks. Uyeshota knows what he's Uyeshota knows when to attack and like when to just like accept the damage and move on. Because like sometimes you just need to have the opportunity to just counter rather than just block the attack. Because you need to get something in on your opponent.
All right, SakeGohan, a little bit of zone meter, but a fantastic board to really start putting some pressure onto Uyeshota. But beautiful combo, the 5 combo from Uyeshota. Again, just it feels like SakeGohan, the once relentless offense, seems to just be at a stopping point as Uyeshota has found the secret to prevent themselves from getting overwhelmed.
Yeah, and look at this. Oh, that's a beautiful cut copy. Those 2 T-spins definitely contributing to a little bit of extra damage.
A little intrigued by that one there. 14 lines from SakeGohan, still looking to go even further beyond 20, 59 out of the ulti once again. All right, 16 lines.
Okay, a few lines to wrap this up. 43, there is an incoming garbage queue here. Ooh, things are looking a little bit precarious here for Uyeshota.
Wow.
Oh, but look at that. Like, still manages to find the skim, still manages to find the room to keep going.
And the down stack is there for Uyeshota.
Yeah, like, still in this. Like, definitely, like, has to do a bit of fighting back, but, like, able to get a little bit in on SakeGohan. SakeGohan needing to do a little bit extra to try and get some lines over to Uyeshota's board.
Oh, really nice T-spin triple setup there for Uyeshota. SakeGohan gonna have to counter about 20 lines, but this is still a phenomenal board to be stacking T-spins on top of.
Ooh, okay. T-spin double leading into that zone. I could see it coming.
66 from SakeGohan on the ulti.
Oh, phase 3 zones like that is insane. I mean, Uyeshota is able to counter it at least somewhat, but that is still an incoming garbage queue. There's a lot more coming in than I anticipated. And probably more than Uyeshota anticipated.
I feel like, again, like even like Uyeshota is one of the best players at maintaining zone efficiency, even through like down stacks. But
oh my god, that
when
is
your
a huge
opponent
garbage
sends
queue.
like 60 lines in a zone attack, it doesn't matter whether you send 40 or 50. You're still going to be eating a ton of extra garbage rows.
Oh, this queue of endless cheese. Oh my goodness. Is Uyeshota gonna be able to stomach all of this?
The end of the queue is there. It's just up to Uyeshota to
in
find a
the
down
end is
stack.
in sight, but SakeGohan, like there's
How fast was that?
what? Huh?
The double iron queued for just a lightning fast zone.
Oh my god, that lightning fast 19. Ugh! It's gross. The end was in sight for Uyeshota. The
And
light
again,
was at the end of the
SakeGohan,
tunnel.
Another quarter
But
zone
SakeGohan is
perfectress.
just building more and more of it. Like, Uyeshota's trying to get out of
And
this.
the all
hole.
clear from SakeGohan.
Oh my goodness.
It's a second one.
Relentless.
And that is it for Uyeshota.
Oh goodness. Just, that's gross. Stop it. Mercy. Jeez.
2 phase 3 quarter zones and still
That
over
lady into the game
350
too.
zone
That
attacks.
was nearly 6 minutes. And then SakeGohan pulls that at the very end? How did he manage to do that? How did you manage to find, despite all of that mess, I just hit my microphone. Throughout all of that mess, throughout all of that pain,
SakeGohan is already 3 all clears in. That's too much for Uyeshota to tank. Sake is still looping these perfect clears. They found another, and they're going to be on max zone. We're going to loop PCs.
Don't go into zone with this. Don't go
They're
into zone
looping
with this.
PCs.
Oh, how much attack is this going
Another
to be?
PC.
The question is, how much attack is this going to be?
Oh, they're going to try and place
A bit of
the
struggling. Oh, I mean, there's how much attack is that?
78.
78 from an ulti. That's curb levels in an ulti. Then just stop. Stop it.
And
out of
one
here.
Mino off. The odd parity turns off the all clear. They're able to tank everything. It's not phase 3 yet. Not enough points there from Uyeshota. The all clears were not as great at pushing it to phase 3.
Oh my goodness, Uyeshota has so much to downstack, and we're not even phase 3 yet.
Oh, SakeGohan hesitated, trying to see if they could go for that Tetris, but it was going to cause issues with that T-spin later. Decides to opt against it.
Oh, at least Uyeshota has a pretty clean board to deal with this, but that is going to be some ugly phase 3 cheese, regardless.
Oh, wow, and the fantastic garbage RNG for Uyeshota. And honestly, like, quite frankly, that is going to keep them alive for the time being. But they still haven't found their way out.
Ooh, T-spin double.
Through.
Yeah, T-spin double from Uyeshota. Wow, very good donation. You need as much attack as you can get in this situation. That was a really good find from Uyeshota.
Oh, SakeGohan only has to counter 20 lines, sends back 53. And so we're gonna need over a full board from Uyeshota in 2.5 seconds, and I don't think we're gonna get it. It is back to the down stack era.
SakeGohan is pulling out all the stops, playing this game at full blast. It is actually, it's like so absolutely astounding how many perfect clear SakeGohan got in a row from like the match, like from the last round and then the round before.
7? I think it was 4, or no, it was 4 to start the match. I think they eventually started with like mid-game PC.
They were PC looping in the zone, getting 78 from an ulti. That is not ulti numbers, that is curb levels of attack. Ugh. Oh my god, it's starting to become gross
right now. But it is a really quick zone, and perhaps that's the secret that they need. They just have to build up to their second zone a little bit quicker. 19 lines. SakeGohan not with the correct parity for the curb salt, but a 70 ulti is going to be a swift punch either way.
Yeah, a few misdrops on Uyeshota's side are a bit... that's a bit...
Although
that's a bit dicey.
SakeGohan almost slipped up, had a almost misheld for the T-piece, and would have topped out from a spike from Uyeshota, but thankfully made sure they had that T at the ready to have that get out of jail free.
Yeah, and look at that, just like that, SakeGohan already back in on this. Just
And
doing
we have the
T-spins, doing
TV
Tetrises.
set up like it's nothing.
Look at that T-spin double. Look at this. Oh, that is some beautiful efficiency there.
Oh,
Good
no.
T-spin find. Gets cut short, but that's still 49 attack. I don't know if Uyeshota's going to be able to contest that with constant down stacks and these occasional T-spins.
Oh, no, the misdrop.
Especially when the zone gets cut short like that.
Oh, there's no I-tuck there. We're going to have to
Not at
spin
all.
lines.
And that's going to be it. We're already at match point. SakeGohan going to be sweeping the second seed in the finals against Uyeshota.
SakeGohan has not dropped not even just set, has not dropped a game.
Yeah, it's looking like how super shocky was in score attack.
And I mean, it's absurd that we're starting to get to the point where our winners for the trifecta brackets have just been so dominant in their game mode of choice that they do not drop games outside of it.
But I mean, hey, at least Trifecta will show like who's the most it will show who's the most well-rounded. Starting off the zone with another perfect clear.
Oh, SakeGohan, I think, misses the second all clear.
Still has a T-spin double to boot.
Find another
trying to find another all clear in here. He's probably going to be able to find. Oh, probably not.
It's a little off on the lines, I think.
Yeah,
the PC parity
still a perfect 60 and 20.
But Uyeshota right now has a little bit more of zone meter and a better board state to work with.
When a 60 attack ulti is like weak for SakeGohan standards, you know something's wrong. Like,
I wouldn't call it weak. I mean, if you're SakeGohan, I guess you have the right to at that point, because that is probably almost below average. Which is incredibly weird to say.
A lot of players here are pulling like 60 attack ultis fairly consistently. SakeGohan goes above and beyond that basically every single time, so seeing a 60 there is kind of surprising. But at the same time, he was kind of like it was a little bit screwed on piece-wise.
From Uyeshota.
Managed to salvage it though. That was a really good recovery from Uyeshota.
But SakeGohan right now on their own zone. Uyeshota was already behind in lines before. Only sends 46. This ulti could
SakeGohan sends 57. Okay.
One good thing for Uyeshota is they accepted that garbage immediately, which gives them a lot of cheese to immediately start downstacking through. And thankfully for them, they are going to survive the interaction, but they are not in a great situation. I think they might have placed that eye a little bit earlier than they anticipated. I think you could see with the hesitation. They were initially trying to use that to downstack.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Uyeshota has a huge queue of garbage incoming, but this is a situation not unfamiliar to Uyeshota.
Wow,
gonna accept all of it.
So much.
A lot of down stacking to do. That is a lot of cheese to just like completely dig.
Oh, but low misdrop on SakeGohan's board.
Yeah, Uyeshota's probably gonna use that to his advantage. Like the slightest bit of slowdown is everything Uyeshota needs, but he still needs more.
I mean, again, like there are not many players that are going to be able to like regain a level of comfortability in their stack with like one or two misdraws, but Uyeshota is a player that can definitely make that turnaround. And I think you definitely just saw that in real time. And there's the STSD.
And there's an STSD, yeah.
Oh no, tries to make the dono with the Z.
And there's a T-spin triple into C-spin for SakeGohan.
Oh, and it's going to be another T-spin.
It's going to be more T-spin triples. It's going to be more. It's going to be...
Oh,
okay,
they're going for more.
They were trying to get They're trying to get like a curb or something, but that's still 56 attack. That's going to be a lot for Uyeshota to deal with. Doing a lot of good down stacking here, but I don't think that's going to be enough efficiency to keep going.
Oh my!
Yeah, that is still a queue of garbage.
Though.
There is the end is in sight though. SakeGohan has a clean, purely man-made stack here.
All right, and here comes the down stacking from Uyeshota. Never mind, we have the T-spin triple set up.
I mean, Uyeshota needs every single little bit of efficiency he can get.
Oh, only able to get that one T-spin in the process.
Yeah, that's gonna be a bit of a mess.
See, if anyone's gonna find an out through a situation that looks as dangerous and as terrifying as this board state, it might be Uyeshota, but unfortunately,
oh, not the most climactic end, but that is still going to be a sweep from SakeGohan, who is now your Tetris Effect Connected World Champion for the Zone Battle bracket.
And for a lot of people that showed up knowing SakeGohan, I think a lot of people were foreseeing this outcome, but not many people were expecting a sweep in every single bracket, both in the round 1 from our top 8 players, another sweep in winners semifinals, and then in the finals against Uyeshota, who has been quite renowned for taking games off of all players regardless of their skill level. But SakeGohan has found the secret to the undefeatable strategies and has put that on display for everyone, from everything just, again, peak efficiency, peak zone management, and a 98 clip to, continue the energy of the night. SakeGohan definitely deserves this title of Zone Battle Grand Master Champion. And I hope that everyone is just excited as we are over here on stream to see SakeGohan take on the Trifecta tournaments in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people anticipated this win, but it doesn't matter how much you anticipate a win. The spectacle is always just like a sight to behold.
To be fair, I think of all, and again, I'm not saying I've watched every single zone battle, whatever, but of tournament matches, I have never seen anything go above, I think, 80. I think it was actually Doremy's 85, and I think SakeGohan had like an 87 back in Square One 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Nothing has been over 90 lines, but 98 in tournament is just absolutely absurd, especially when that comes through literally the round before the finals. That wasn't like you were playing a round 1 tournament and you just stacked your pattern stack, whatever. That was just a raw, authentic 98 lines of sheer efficiency.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. It was just nothing. Oh my goodness. I just can't say anything else other than there is a reason SakeGohan is considered the best of the best. And with that, with SakeGohan winning, he's gonna be getting quite a few things as a prize. Starting off, as we previously mentioned, he's gonna be getting that those little, I'm out of English. Sorry. Jeez.
It's okay. Take your time. I know. It was a spectacle. I know.
Bunch of stuff from our sponsors. There's the Red Bull. There's some cans of Red Bull. The Power Bears Tetris gummies. And also the AppMex coins and some stuff courtesy of Hyperkin. Of course, our sponsors just giving those prizes to our winners for each of the tournaments. Thank you once again to Hyperkin for providing some prizes, including the watch bands, which I did show off earlier. Coming in 3 different designs: the colorful Tetraminos, the beautiful purple to blue Tetris gradient, and the I Heart Tetris red heart design. Also available in the pixel art controller form. And there's, of course, the Tetris Effect Connected Switch carrying case.
All right, that was insane, you two. I'll help you out since that was likely exhausting to watch for a second. But yes, I also wanted to mention that our actually, you know what? I was going to mention something else, but let's bring up my camera. That's a good point, Commando. Let's mention that yes, thank you to Red Bull and Power Bears Tetris Gummies for sponsoring us this year. Yeah, anybody that's placed in the top 4 of any bracket in the Masters Grandmasters brackets will receive some Power Bears and some Red Bull. So if you're looking to up your game, if you need some help, if you need some vitamin C, E, we got you with some Tetris gummies. But oh yeah, I also wanted to mention that our merch store is now online. We did a soft launch today, so we'll be promoting it a bit more for our final few weeks of TECWC here. And these will also be in the player prize packages. They'll actually have a unique shirt with like their, depending on which top 4 they made it through. So say they made it through top 4 in Zone Battle, they're going to have a Zone Battle sleeve on the logo tee, for example. But
do we have any photos of like the ones from previous years? Like I know Shockey's got like a couple of those from like Score Attack. I don't know if we have any.
I don't have it on hand right here, but we'll likely have that ready here for the Trifecta. I got this one right here for you, Davo, and we have some new items: mouse pads, tote bags, and different sticker lineup. The holographic sticker Tetramidian with all the.
Oh yeah, that one looks very nice.
That one's super cool. And a little bit higher quality this year, so we have a different printing method for our shirts. So yes, the shirts will go a bit longer as well. So definitely check it out if you're interested, and if you want to support TECWC, we are happy to have your support. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed that match as much as we did. That was absolutely insane. I played a lot of Zone Battle, watched a lot of Zone Battle, and I don't think I've seen anything. SakeGohan is just getting better, which is already crazy, right? I don't think I've seen anything that intense, or that onslaught of attacks against Uyeshota, who held that whole time, was just absolutely insane. But
it's very rare to have a player that is so dominant in the #1 spot and still seems to be getting better.
Yeah,
we don't. I feel like the last time we've seen that is like, at least that I can't remember any scenario in terms of like TEC. I feel like some other games there's been like 1 or 2 players where that kind of happens, and those players tend to be very dominant for like multiple months, if not years, at that point, and it takes a while for people to start catching up.
All right, guys, I think we're about to close it out. If you're here on the Twitch, we'll throw a raid somewhere. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. We have no more tournaments to register for, but hey, you do want to tune in to Classic Score Attack next weekend on Thanksgiving break, that Saturday.
Yeah.
That's going to be also super crazy. First off, yeah, you mentioned SakeGohan is going to get to play in Trifecta. They got to top 4 in Classic Score Attack on our Block Party tournament, right? So across the board, yeah, they're going to be an insane competitor in that Trifecta bracket. So Super Shocky might be shaking a little bit if you're watching, but we'll see what happens. There's going to be so many great matchups in Trifecta this year.
Yeah, we really need to see if Shocky can keep that title and get the Trifecta.
Yeah. The Trifecta hat trick, whatever you want to call it. But
Actress.
And, should we add? Let's make it a quad. There's got to be a clever name for it. A Tetfecta. I don't know what you want to call it, but we'll add Hattress as the 4th game as some kind of ace match. But all right, so thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, as you mentioned, to our sponsors, AppMex, Digital Clips with Tetris Forever, Hyperkin, Red Bull, Power Bears, and most of all, the Tetris Company for making this happen and providing our prize pools. Be sure to follow Tetris_official on their socials, such as Instagram. But we're going to call it here. Thank you all for tuning in. And until next Saturday, we're going to have Classic Score Attack, then Connected versus Teams Finals the following Saturday, and the following Friday, and then Trifecta that Saturday. So got a lot of great finals coming up. If you enjoyed that, be sure to tune back in and join the Enhanced Discord to receive notifications of when we are going live and such at discord.gg/enhance. I think that's it. So get some TECWC merch. I'm wearing some right now, this hoodie. And I will see you all next Saturday, or we can chat in the Discord. But Commando and Davo, thanks for joining. Any final thoughts before we sign off here?
Keep playing Tetris, I guess.
Yes, perfect.
Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and tuning into this. And I hope that our next couple broadcasts will match, if not surpass, this stream. But with the gameplay we saw, that might be a hard task to accomplish. So.
Great.
Who knows? Have a good night, everybody.
Yep, have a good night, everybody. See y'all next Saturday.
Bye-bye for now.